Welcome to a special presentation of Chris 6 News. This is Thomas J. Henry's Game Night South Texas, presented by Thomas J. Henry.
Go get him.
Let's get it.
All right. You'll do great.
Welcome to a special presentation of Chris 6 News. This is Thomas J. Henry's Game Night South Texas, presented by Thomas J. Henry.
Hi, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Hornet Stadium. It's playoff edition of Game Night South Texas, brought to you by Thomas J. Henry. Those teams, the Hornets playing host to the McAllen Bulldogs. Great matchup. Teams 9-1 for the Bluff, 7-3 for McAllen, and this is going to be a great ball game. We're looking forward to it. As you see, the two teams are warming up prior to kicking this thing off. And I'm Alan Harwell, joined tonight by Steve Bishop, and Jim Bob Brazil will be joining us on the sidelines. We'll get with him here in a little bit. Flower Bluff Hornets won the toss. They elected to kick off, so McAllen will take the opening kickoff on a great night of football. 74 degrees. Winds gusting up to 20 miles an hour. And Drew Bishop, glad to have you on board tonight. I know that Larissa's getting ready for the fever, so good to have you here this evening.
Well, it's great to be here, Alan. And I spent a lot of time down on the sidelines this season, coming up here for the booth. Postseason action, UIL, Texas high school football. There's a real palpable buzz in the air tonight, and we're ready to kick off.
And we are underway, and the kick is a good one. It'll be returned. And here come the Bulldogs up to about the 20, well, if he ever goes down, get him to go down to about the 26-yard line. Boy, a big swarm of Hornets all over that. And you can see already tempers beginning to flare a little bit. Both teams are fired up for this, and why not?
Well, Alan, you think about the football schedule and how it goes all the way back to January, where you hit the weight room, you condition in the summer, you hit those 2 and 3-a-days. In August, you play the whole season for this moment right here, for the chance to make the state finals. And the road starts right here for both of these teams, and you can see the aggression, you can see the energy early on.
All right, here come the Bulldogs. 1st and 10 now. Ball resting on their own 26-yard line. They're led by quarterback McCoy Wolhoff. He is a senior. He's thrown 19 touchdowns. He's thrown for almost 2,000 yards this year, so he can whip the ball around. But they'll go to the ground game early on, and not really a whole lot there for number 25, Hunter Morley, who gets the first.
And Alan, you mentioned Wolhoff's ability to throw. He's a dual threat as well. I spoke with head coach Patrick Shelby before the game. He tells me that Wolhoff has rushed for 100 yards in each of their last 2 games. He has over 500 on the season. So that's going to be a key for Flower Bluff's defense, playing it honest against a guy who can throw and run the ball. That
last play was good for 2. Now they go to the passing game, and he's going to have to run. He's going to have to eat that one, and that's going to be maybe a loss of about a yard. So some good swarming defense there by the Hornets.
It looked like it was Micah Mitchell, one of the leading tacklers on this team, who's had a great season, and they're going to really rely on that defensive line tonight against a McAllen team that likes to pound the rock.
This is a Flower Bluff defense that averages 14.6 points per game. So they've got a really good defense. 3rd down and 11 now for McAllen. They lost 3 yards on that last play. Let's see what the Bulldogs have up their sleeves here. As quarterback Wolhoff in the shotgun. He'll drop back. In trouble, avoids rush, rolls right. He'll take it himself, 25-30, and runs out of bounds. Ooh, we got maybe a late hit, Drew. Out of bounds. You don't want to do that.
And that's a tough play, Alan. I mean, you see it on Saturdays and Sundays, especially in the NFL. Players like Patrick Mahomes are able to really manipulate the defenses and slow down right before they go out of bounds. And as a defender, you're going, hey, I got to make the play here. You get a little overzealous, and that leads to a 15-yard penalty and a Miracle Method first down.
Well, we'll get to that Miracle Method replay here if we have it. We'll show you where the young man got hit out of bounds. Well, that's a big penalty against the Hornets, so that'll move all the way up to now to the 47-yard line, and that's where, and no, that's not the LSU Tigers you're looking down here off the field. That is the McAllen Bulldogs, but they do look like LSU.
And Flower Bluff looks a little like the Aggies, right?
Absolutely. We got college football going on here. Back to the run game for the Bulldogs, and look at that swarming defense by the Hornets. No gain.
You know, Alan, I spend a lot of time at high school football practices, and what you hear coaches harp on all the time is filling your gaps, reading your keys, the fundamentals. And right there, Flower Bluff's defense did exactly that. They walled up, they filled each gap. Sometimes as a defender, you get tempted to make that hero play, but none of that there for the Hornets. Nice job by the defense.
That was a 2-yard loss, 2nd and 12 now. Ball resting on the 45-yard line, just underway from Hornet Stadium. And going to throw it across. He was able to hang on to it down to about the 48-yard line. That looked like number 81.
Eden Maldonado, and he fumbled it a little bit, but he was able to gain possession. And you can kind of see the early coverage for Flower Bluff defensively has been solid, but it's those scramble plays, those extended moments that McAllen is really finding success.
The guy you got to watch for McAllen is number 6, Flynn Henderson. He's got 14 touchdowns this year, and he is at the bottom of your screen when we go out to the wide shot. So there's a good close-up of the quarterback, and the play clock is down to 7 seconds. Crowd making a lot of noise here. 2, 1. He got it off just in time. He'll throw it out, and that is complete. And he's going to take it all the way down to about the 22-yard line. Get a number on that, Drew?
It looked like number 25, Hunter Morley for McAllen.
All right, the running back out of the backfield making the catch.
And looking now at the Miracle Method replay, Alan, kind of a miscommunication from the defense. I don't think McAllen was expecting that much open grass, but clearly the linebackers for Flower Bluff didn't know assignment there, and the back leaks out of the backfield into the flat, and that's a huge chunk gain for McAllen early.
Big play here, 3rd and 1 now for the Bulldogs. Resting at about the 20-yard line. Wolhoff back, good protection, throws it, got a man in the end zone, and he overthrew him. That was his main receiver, Flynn Henderson, he was looking for, and just overthrew him, but he was open.
And it's tough. It's difficult in those moments. How do you loft the ball? You don't want to go directly as we go to our Miracle Method replay. Woltoff upset after this play. He thought he had the touch, but it's just a little over the head of his receiver, and good defensive play by the Hornets.
All right, here we go. First big, really, play of the game. Well, actually, they did get a first down on that previous play. We apologize. It's now 2nd down and 10 now. And Wolhoff will hand it off now, and that's Morley. And Morley picks up maybe about 3. Morley comes in averaging 108 yards a game. And Drew, he's got over 1,000 yards rushing this year.
And that's the type of, dual threat offense that can really mess up a defense. When you're playing run and pass, when you can't determine the strength of an opposing offense, you're not able to stack the box. You're not able to drop 4. You kind of have to play a balanced defense, and that can lead to some miscommunications. And we'll see if Flower Bluff's able to adjust as the game continues.
Well, it's 3rd down and 7. The play clock is down to 7. And you see the Bulldogs, they're in no hurry whatsoever. They're going to have to get this ball snapped pretty quick. Down to 2, 1. High snap, but quarterback's got it. He'll take off. Fumble on the play, but he looks like he got it back. Woo! Wolhoff just in the right place at the right time. Picked up his own fumble.
Senior Anthony Mims there with the active hands as we go to another Miracle Method replay. And Mims has been a leader on this defense all season. And Woltoff, he checks the sideline. He's looking for his play. They come up. Play clock is getting close. He manages to get the snap off, and he kind of thinks he's going to run free there, but
All right, we're going to try a field goal. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt, but here we go. 35-yard field goal here for McAllen as they attempt it. Good snap, good hole, kick is up, looks good from here. And no, it just went wide at the last second. Number 30 came in to try the field goal, and that is Cash Cazares, just barely wide right.
And it looks like they were going to get that really big break for the Hornets. I mean, you look at that drive, you look at that big chunk play with the running back out of the flat, and you say, you know, McAllen's got to score here, right? They come up empty-handed. Flower Bluff gets the ball, and the Hornets really need to capitalize on this momentum on their opening drive.
All right, the wind, I think, may have affected that kick. It is gusting up to 20 miles an hour, but here come the Hornets. First possession of the game for them. 1st and 10 now from their own 20-yard line, led by their quarterback, Lucian Cruz. And he'll throw it out and in and out of the hands of the intended receiver. That, of course, is Jacob Kane.
Just an early thread to kind of follow here, Alan. It's the opening round of playoffs. As we mentioned, you work all season for this. Nerves, jitters, it's kind of like opening night of the regular season all over again. And so McAllen, they looked great on that first drive. Didn't look like it was affecting them at all. Flower Bluff, a little jittery there on that first play. Let's see if they can shake those off.
All right, Cruz this time will hand it off. A little bit of running room for the running back. And they like to go to Sam Smith, the junior, who comes in averaging 93 yards a game. And we have a McAllen Bulldog player down, so it looks like we're going to have an injury timeout with 6:34 to play. And we're going to go to it. All right, we're going to call a quick timeout here. You're watching Game Night South Texas, brought to you by Thomas J. Henry. We're scoreless, 6:34 to play here in the first quarter. We'll be right back. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Hornet Stadium. It's Game Night South Texas, brought to you by Thomas J. Henry. Alan Harwell with Drew Bishop and Jim Bob Brazil, who's down there on the sideline. We'll be going to him very shortly. But meanwhile, here come the Hornets. It's 3rd and 7. This is their opening possession. We're scoreless, just underway here. And Cruz is back. And he'll take off. Got a little bit of running room up to about the 27-yard line. He is going to be short of a first down.
The Bulldog defense looked like they had Cruz dead to rights. And somehow he finds a little gap in there. It's not going to be enough as the punt team comes out on the field. But you can tell early on, both these defenses are swarming, and this could be a very stingy game, at least early on. Let's see if either offense can get some rhythm.
Well, all right. Okay, welcome back to Hornet Stadium. The Hornets are being forced to pump the ball now as they are going to turn it over on downs. And this is Brooklyn Garcia. And Brooklyn gets off a pretty good kick and a really good roll. And look at that ball roll all the way down to about the 21-yard line as you watch Game Night South Texas, brought to you by Thomas J. Henry. Alan Harwell with Drew Bishop and Jim Bob Brazil. I know he's somewhere down there on the sideline. I'm looking for him. Oh, there he is. Let's head down to Jim Bob. Jim Bob, welcome to the game tonight. We're glad to have you.
Hey, guys, thanks. I was just here listening to the coach talk to that defensive unit as they came off that field there. They were imploring them to communicate and remember their assignments. It felt like they knew what they were supposed to do. They just weren't in the right spots, and that's what led to that big, long play that got them down into the red zone. But we'll see what they do here coming out.
All right, Jim Bob, thank you so much. Appreciate that. We'll be hearing from you throughout the night. Here come the Bulldogs back for the second possession of this game. It's 1st and 10 now, and they'll start from about the 19-yard line. Quarterback McCoy Woolhoff will hand it off. This is Morley. And once again, great run defense by that Flower Bluff defense.
And that's just what Jim Bob was saying down on the sideline, was following your assignments. And Jim Bob's assignment tonight is sideline reporter, but it's a very special day for him, not just because he's on our sideline, but Alan, it is Jim Bob's birthday. So a big shout out to Chris 6 News Director Jim Bob Brazil for doing sideline, not only for us tonight, but on his special day. So thank you so much for joining us tonight, JB, and we're happy to have you.
He could have been out celebrating, but he's here with us. And speaking of, oh man, a big sack. Woo, big sack by the Flower Bluff Hornets.
And again, Anthony Mims doing a little dance there, having a little fun with it, staying loose. He is going to be so key tonight for Flower Bluff, and you can see it early on. I mean, it's just 2 drives, but he is making a tangible impact on this game, and he's making McAllen have to scheme around him. I don't know if they have the offensive line to contain him. They're going to have to send 2. They're going to have to send it back to Chip, and that's going to affect their offense.
Well, it looks like he went unblocked, and it's now 3rd down and 20.
We'll dance on that Miracle Method replay
For the Bulldogs. And then we'll go back to the ground game. This is Hunter Morley. Hunter trying to get around that right side, just really nothing there, and he's shoved out of bounds into the kicking screen there.
And not only does that Mims sack, end the drive, essentially, it also creates field position. I mean, you look at that punt, how that punt dribbled down the field out of bounds, then the sack. That's big for Flower Bluff's offense. I mean, they could start this drive on McAllen's side of the field, have, 40, 45 yards to the end zone. We'll see how this punt goes, but Flower Bluff with a big opportunity on this ensuing possession.
Absolutely. Here we go now. 4 minutes, 13 seconds left. So Flower Bluff does their job on defense. Now it's up to the offense to get something going. Good snap. Here comes the kick. And in and out of the arms of number 8 for the Hornets. That is Colton Stray. Luckily, that ball went out of bounds.
Right, and it's a little bit of a heart attack. It's on the opposite side of the field from the Flower Bluff sideline. I'm sure a few coaches are sitting there going, he's close to the boundary, close to out of bounds. It dribbles out, but again, still, regardless, you're at the 50-yard line. You get a couple first downs, and you're in business if you're the Hornets.
This will be their 2nd possession. They were unable to move the ball on their last play, on their last possession. So this is possession number 2, and as Drew mentioned, they had an opportunity to get a really good field position, so they will start from the 48-yard line. And quarterback Lucian Cruz, a senior. 34 touchdown passes on the season for Mr. Cruz. He's rolling right, looking for a receiver. Got a man wide open, number 7, and he's got him. Oh, man, he tripped. He could have run into the end zone, I think, for a touchdown, but he kind of lost his footing. Ethan Satsky, number 7. Boy, he broke away from the defender, Drew, and looked like he had all green to the end zone, but the old turf monster got him, I think.
And here they go on the hurry up, but incredible scramble drill by Satsky. I mean, that's not the schemed play. Once Cruz rolls out, the receivers are just playing scramble drill. They're trying to get open, and Satsky found a gap in the middle of the field. All
right, and here we go. This is around the right side, and Cruz, who can run with the football.
I've been really impressed with Cruz's decision-making early on, Alan. I mean, he's been quick-witted. He sees the pressure. He feels it. He moves where he needs to. It's impressive early on from the senior.
That was a gain of 3. It'll be 2nd and 7 now. You see Cruz's stats on the board there. And he's had a tremendous senior year. Across the middle, in and out of the hands of Ransom Watson, the junior. And Watson may be their best all-around receiver, and he's a tight end.
And he's absolutely, Alan, to your point, he's a big target for them, and a little bit behind there, but you're the number 1 target on the team. You got to make that play. Ball hits your hands, you bring it in, right? That's what your receiver coach would say. That's what your tight ends coach would say. And Cruz is hitting himself for that one, but Watson also needs to corral that ball.
All right, big 3rd and 7 now. 3:32 to play. We're scoreless. Hornets looking to score for the first time tonight. And Cruz drops back. Good protection. Got a man, but going to be well short of a first down. Once again, that was number 7, Ethan Satsky on the catch. So now they got a big decision to make here. 4th down, and they need 2 yards.
And you got to go for this. I mean, Cruz, from what we've seen just in these first 2 drives, his ability to run the ball, his ability to make decisions, hey, my receivers aren't open, I'm going to take this, that's really the deciding factor that says, hey, you got to go for it on 4th down.
All right, that's exactly what they're going to do here. And they will throw it out, got a man open. Well, this is going to work. This is going to be a touchdown. And big number 88, Ransom Watson, finds the end zone. Cruz did a great job of finding him. He was wide open, and the Hornets strike first with 3 minutes and 20 seconds to play in the first quarter.
And there's Watson's 9th touchdown on the season, and great play design, Alan. I mean, you look at that, it's just a simple little little jet out into the flat, but you got 2 receivers running inside, you got the one running out, and that leaves a lot of green grass. Again, it's all about confusing the defense, scrambling them, and Flower Bluff is on the board early.
All right, Brooklyn Garcia in now to try the extra point. Good snap, good hole, kick is up, and it is right down Main Street. So, with 3:20 to play here in the first quarter, it's 7-0 in favor of the Hornets. You're watching Game Night South Texas, brought to you by Thomas J. Henry. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Hornet Stadium right here in Flower Bluff, where the Hornets just scored to take a 7-0 lead here with 3 minutes, 20 seconds left to play here in the first period. And Brooklyn Garcia will kick this off. And so far, this Flower Bluff defense has been outstanding in this football game. And here comes the kick. It's a good one. And it's returnable from the 5-yard line. And they'll bring it back to the 20. 25, look out, finds a big hole all the way down to the 43-yard line. That's a really nice kickoff return by number 5, Alan Cinco Jones. All right, let's head down to the field. Let's check in with Jim Bob Brazil. Jim Bob, what you got for us?
Alan, I just heard senior defensive tackle Anthony Mims go to his defense. After that sack on the last drive, he told them, I told you we were going to get him. We're going to keep getting after him. And then the offense took it and scored, and the momentum is completely flipped. Both the offensive and defensive lines are fired up over here for Flower Bluff.
All right, Jim Bob, thank you. We'll be going to that replay in just a moment after this next play. But here comes McAllen, their best starting position of the night on their own 41-yard line.
A chance to respond after the touchdown from Flower Bluff.
And this is Wolhoff. He will take it himself. Let's go back, Drew. Let's draw up that touchdown for us, courtesy of Miracle Method.
Absolutely, Alan. And again, you know, like Jim Bob said, you know, big momentum there for Flower Bluff. You can see on this play, it's just a simple little run into the flat, right? But the 2 receivers going into the middle of the field draw all the attention of the defense, and then you have Watson wide open to Walton. I mean, you even see him doing a little Deion Sanders high step there into the end zone, and those are the type of play designs that coaches love, right? When you can scheme up something like that and you don't have to rely on an impressive play or a big highlight. It's just all about scheme and about what you can do within your playbook.
Absolutely. Back to the ground game. Again, there is nothing there, and a swarm of Hornets is all over. Drew, we're going to have to be coming up with a big hit of the game tonight, so let's kind of keep tabs on the big hit. I think we got one coming here pretty soon.
Absolutely. I mean, we just talked with JB down there on the sideline. Mims firing up his guys. I mean, that's not the last we're probably going to hear from the senior, and a lot of great defensive players on both sides of the field really tonight. So I'm sure we'll get something for the fans, for the viewers at home in our big hit of the game.
Well, it's 3rd and 9 now for the Bulldogs. They have been unable to get anything going yet here in the first period.
Look for a pass over the middle.
Wolhoff is back to pass, going across the middle. Oh, he got a man, and it's a good catch, and that will be good enough for a first down as number 88 comes up with the catch, and that is Talon Garcia.
And going now again to our Miracle Method replay. Alan, you can tell early on that the McAllen coaches believe they can attack the middle of the field, that it's not the sidelines they're looking at. They're looking to condense and get right in the interior, try to attack those linebackers, see if there's a weak point. And it's been working for them. Just that opening drive comes up empty after the missed field goal.
First down and 10. Bulldogs trying to get something going for the first time tonight, down 7-zip. Minute 12 left to play here. We're in the first period on Game Night South Texas Playoff Edition. And they'll hand it off. This is Flynn Henderson, who typically will catch the ball, but this time he's going to run it. And maybe 5, perhaps. Forward progress got him maybe 5. We'll see.
There's another delayed action. I've noticed early on the Bulldogs are running a lot of delayed action in the backfield. They're kind of using Wolhoff's ability to run as a kind of a decoy, and then they'll pretend like he's going to go scramble or he's going to go run, and then they'll hand it off to one of their weapons on the perimeter or in the backfield, and that's kind of toying with the eyes of the Flower Bluff defenders, and that's what leads to that 5-yard gain on that play.
All right, it'll officially be a 4-yarder. We'll call it 5, but it was they marked it 4, but it's now 2nd and 6. Probably the last play of the first period. And they'll go back to the ground game. Morley looking for some running room. Finds an opening, and I think he may be close to a first down. I think he got it. He did. So that'll be another Bulldog first down. So they'll move those chains. So for the first time tonight, Drew, looks like McAllen's got something a little cooking here.
And you can see they're just going to head to the sideline and get started early talking and conversing here. It's been a fast-moving first quarter, Allen, but it's been exciting to say the least. 7-0 Hornets as we're about to head to break here. End of first quarter. You're watching Game Night South Texas on Chris 6 News.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Hornet Stadium on the campus of Flower Bluff High School. And right now, it's all Flower Bluff, up 7-0 as we begin the second quarter. Alan Harwell with Drew Bishop and Jim Bob Brazil is down on the sidelines. Larissa Liska is covering Friday Night Fever. She'll have that coming up at 10 o'clock.
Here we go. 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs. Another quality drive where they get right near that red zone. Can they convert here on a big set of downs?
Well, let's see what happens. They're going to go deep. Oh, the receiver fell down, and that was Flynn Henderson, and he slipped, and ball fell incomplete, and that'll stop the clock. So it'll be 2nd down at 10. Quick score update. I do have a score from Cal Allen. They're leading 14-zip, middle of the first quarter against El Campo. I think Cal Allen will probably name their score in that game. I hate to say it, but I think that's probably going to happen. We see a lot of that, as you know, in these opening round of the playoffs.
Absolutely, Alan. It really is. The first round can be very lopsided. I know last night on our Thursday action, we had a lot of lopsided games. Larissa and I were out there covering a few of them, and that can kind of be the case when you see some of these. But thus far, this matchup has been promising. It's been very competitive.
All right, we got a run here by Woltoff. Woltoff, oh, we got a late flag. And let's see what that's going to be all about. It came a lot of ways away from the play.
Right, it didn't look like a holding. There was a lot of momentum with the line. Feels like maybe a personal foul.
Personal foul. Face mask.
You're right. Face mask against the Hornets. Ooh, okay. Well, that's going to move the ball 15 yards. And all of a sudden, the Bulldogs are going to get in the red zone. So it'll be 1st and 10 now. Ball is going to rest. See where they're going to officially mark this. Looks like, Drew, they're going to right at about the 11.5-yard line.
It's kind of a nice spot for Flower Bluff. I mean, it's not 1st and goal. There's a first down, but the first down marker is, you almost have an extended 1st and goal, right, from the 11.
Absolutely. Here we go. Bulldogs looking to tie this game up. They will go back to the run game. That's Morley around the right side. Got a little bit of running room, then he shoved out of bounds. Gain of about maybe 3. And the clock will run at 11:21.
I don't really know what happened on that play. It looked like number 40, Landon Green for Flower Bluff, had the play. He slowed down a little bit. Maybe, a cramp or maybe something, turf monster comes up and grabs you. But Flower Bluff, I've been impressed with their defense and how they're filling those gaps. But McAllen continues to find ways to move the ball down the field.
2nd down and 6 now. They can still, as Drew mentioned, still get a first down without scoring. And there's Mims after him again, throws it and intercepted. The receiver fell down, and we're going back the other way. And he's got some wide open. If he can just stay up.
Colton Stray, he's going to take it.
That's about 105-yard return. How do you like that for the Hornets?
You talk about flipping field, Allen. That is a 14-point swing. You're at the 6-yard line if you're McAllen. You're about to score. Great drive, and just like that, pick 6. That is a 14-point swing if the extra point comes here, and that is something that could swing the entire momentum of this ball game.
Colton Stray with the long interception return, and that'll bring in Brooklyn Garcia. Kick is up, and it's good. Lots of fireworks here at Hornet Stadium. 14-0 now. Hornets on top, 10:34 to play. When we come back, we'll get that replay for you. Unbelievable 105-yard return by Colton Stray. Obviously, that's the play of the game so far. You're watching Game Night South Texas. We'll be right back. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Game Night South Texas. We're live in Flower Bluff. The Hornets are up 14-0 over the McAllen Bulldogs after just an incredible interception return back for about 104, 105 yards by Colton Stray. We'll be looking at that replay after the kickoff.
And we're looking at it right now.
Oh, we are
Allen
looking at it now.
Miracle
Okay.
Method replay. A slip in the end zone. And Allen, we were talking a little bit off air. That's not the first slip that we've seen on this field, but it plays to the advantage of the Hornets. And Colton Stray running with a lot of green grass. And look at the rest of the team, right? This is really, as a defender, when you get to, play the other side of the ball and you get to go be a blocker and go out there and escort your guy to the end zone. It's an exciting moment in Flower Bluff, capitalizing on a big mistake by the Bulldogs.
Absolutely, and on the kickoff, we had a high kick, and it was a fair catch. All right, let's head down to our main man, Jim Bob Brazil. With what a great play that was.
An incredible play, Allen. And if there's anything more exhausting than returning the interception all the way the length of the field, it's the celebration that happened here. Colton Stray came off the field, and the rest of his teammates, one by one, every single player on this roster was going up to him and celebrating, to the point where Colton had to take a breath and just finally get behind the bench and breathe for a little bit. But it's pandemonium down here for the Flower Bluff sideline, guys.
All right, thank you, sir. Appreciate that. 10:34 to play here. So McAllen has dug themselves a big hole now. They're down 14-0 here already. Early second quarter. And quarterback will, I'm not real sure, Drew, but I'm not sure if they're built to come back if they're down 2 or 3 touchdowns.
So I'll say this, Allen. I spoke with head coach Patrick Shelby from McAllen pregame, and I asked him, hey, what have you liked about your guys this season? We obviously haven't seen you. You're not from our viewing area. And he said the way that we respond when we're faced with adversity. And I asked him about adversity, some of the strong teams they've faced this season and how they've battled back, how even in losses they've kept it close. And so that's really a mark when you talk to the head coach of this team. And so as far as their scheme and if they are able to make a comeback, that's another thing. But as far as the mentality of this ball club, their coaches believe that they are made to respond from adversity, like being down 14 points early.
Well, we'll find out. That was Flynn Henderson. And Henderson picked up 5 yards on the play. It'll be 3rd and 4. This is a really big third down play. McAllen cannot afford to pump this ball back to a red-hot offense and defense of the Hornets. Here we go, 3rd and 4. Woltoff will throw it across the middle. Oh, man, he had 3 guys around number 88. Oh, do we have a flag at the last minute?
That's going to be pass interference. That's a tough call. That's a bang-bang play, right? Guy coming over the middle. You're a linebacker. Protect the middle. Ball comes flying out. You send the hit. Hey, what if he receives the ball? Can I jar it loose? But it's going to be a little early, and the Flower Bluff fans, they're not happy with that call. It's going to give the Bulldogs a first down.
Absolutely. That's a big one. And they're going to get a fresh set of downs. And he'll mark it now at the 44-yard line.
And I want to go back to what JB said down on the sideline with the exhaustion, right? The defense makes that big play. Typically, you score as an offense, you get some rest, right? When you're a defense and you score, you're right back on the field a couple minutes later, right? So let's see if Flower Bluff, despite that exhaustion, can make a stop after a tough penalty.
Well, the defense is coming up strong here on the run. Gain of maybe 1, maybe 2 yards. Yeah, my big concern when he was running that playback, is he going to have enough energy to get there? But there weren't really many McAllen players trying to get him.
No, but even if you're fully conditioned, even if you're made for it, a 100-yard dash is a lot, right, Allen? So
yeah.
and that's after a lengthy drive from McAllen. You run that 100 yards. Coach says, get back on the field. We need you.
And it's kind of humid tonight as well, so that doesn't help. 2nd and 8 now. And Wolford will drop back. Oh, he dropped the ball. Oh, he slammed to the ground. There is your big hit nominee number 1 right there, Mr. Bishop.
100%. And guess who, Allen?
I know.
Guess who? Anthony Mims again. And I love the body language from Mims after he makes these big plays. He's fired up. He looks a little confused right there, frustrated. Let's see if there's a call.
Nope. Looks like we're okay. Let's go to the replay real quick. Mr. Mims there.
And you pointed it out, Woltoff kind of slipping here. And again, the field has caused a lot of slips early.
That's a monster hit right there.
That looks like WWE, Alan.
I love it.
Like football.
Morley better look out, too. He's got three tacklers on him. 3 Hornets just swarming him down. Boy, there's just nowhere to run for this McAllen Bulldog football team. So that'll force 4th and 19. They'll have to kick the ball off, have to pump the ball away.
It's a coach's dream, right? It's we give up a bad penalty. It's an automatic first down. The guys are upset. They're kind of bummed out, body language drooping. But immediately thereafter, fundamentals, following your keys, filling gaps, and it leads to forcing a punt from the Bulldogs. This has just been a coach's dream early on for the Flower Bluff Hornets.
And here is the punt. It's a high spiraling kick, and this is returnable. And looking for a little bit of block. Not really a whole lot there for number 16, Raymond Aguilar, who returned that punt. So here come the Hornets back on the field. They got all the momentum right now. 14 zip. They're doing it on offense. They're doing it on defense. Special teams has looked good as well. So for Coach Clint Elwood, he's got to be awfully happy.
Absolutely, and right now he's telling his guys, we can put a nail, not the nail, but a nail in the coffin of our opponent. I mean, you wouldn't be able to tell by just watching the way the Bulldogs have moved the ball, but Flower Bluff has a real chance on this drive to create some separation. You go up 3 possessions at this point of the ball game, you start to run the ball, you start to juice the clock, you start to shorten the game, and that is really going to put a lot of pressure on McAllen.
And that's exactly what Sam Smith is trying to do right there on that last play. He picked up 6 yards, and you see his stats there. We talked about it, 931 yards rushing, and he'll go over 1,000 tonight. Cruz back, throws, and it is caught by number 5, James Porter. A lot of, I had like 4 receivers written down on my list here to watch, but I've seen 2 additional guys catch balls tonight that have come off the sidelines and doing a great job here. That's a first down. So they'll move those chains. Ball now resting on the 41-yard line.
To your point, Alan, Flower Bluff likes to spread the ball around, and they make the reads quick for Cruz, right? Quick out routes, quick little slants. Nothing deep downfield. Cruz has just been looking for those.
Oh, look at Sam.
plays.
Look at, they got a big buster right here. Sam Smith had a big hole right up the gut. So they look like Aggie uniforms, and you got the number 12 on there. Makes it even look more like the A&M Aggies.
And going now to our Miracle Method replay, like you said, Alan, parting the Red Sea there, a
Absolutely.
wide open gap for Smith, and he could very well break that 1,000 mark tonight if he continues to see gaps like that.
Moses going to walk right through there. All right, pass across the middle, good catch. Look out, down to the 5, to the 3. And that is number 5. That is James Porter again, who comes up with a big catch.
You can tell Porter really wanted that touchdown. He had a little bit of movement, good blocking, perimeter-wise from his fellow wide receiver, but they're going to try to finish it off here.
They go to the hurry up around the left side. Nothing there for Sam. And Sam Smith will go down to about the 2-yard line. So it'll be 2nd down and goal. Ball resting right outside the 1-yard line.
And Flower Bluff with the tempo. They're just trying to control the defense right now with this fast
Sam Smith
offense.
again trying to get over, but he just couldn't quite. About 6. It took 6 Bulldogs to corral him. So 3rd and goal.
And you can tell Elwood on this drive, his offensive staff has just been saying, move quick, move quick. They don't want substitutions. They don't want a chance for McAllen to calibrate their defense. They just want to go at them. They're going for their throat right now.
Well, let's see if Sam Smith gets another chance, or watch big number 88, right-hand side of the play here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 receivers out there, and somebody moved. Who was it?
Got a timeout.
All right, actually it was a timeout, as Drew mentioned. That Flower Bluff didn't like what they saw. They're going to call timeout. They're going to take a look at it. For 5 minutes, 9 seconds left to play. Boy, this is a big play coming up, but boy, you know that the Bluff would love to be up 3 touchdowns at this point.
Absolutely, and again, 5 minutes to go in the half. You say, hey, we go up 3 possessions. our defense is playing phenomenal right now. Can we get another stop? Can we get another score? Right, you start getting greedy, you start getting excited, and you just want to control the ball game from there. I mean, football is not complicated. You just need to score more points than the other team. Sometimes you'll hear analysts at the top levels say those type of things, but it really comes down to that. If you can develop a lead, a strong lead early, you're not looking to, open your offense fully. You have a great running back in Sam Smith. You have a great offensive line. So once you go up a few possessions, control the rock, shorten the game, run the clock. But first things first, they have to convert on this third down.
All right. Obviously 4-down territory here, as it is now 3rd down and goal. And the ball is resting on about the 1-yard line. So let's see what the Hornets call up here after calling timeout. And it's Sam Smith. Boy, walks in untouched. Sam Smith from a yard out gives the Hornets a 20-0 lead.
You got to shout out that offensive line right now. Eben Hartman, Aiden Rivera, just some big boys up front creating those gaps. I mean, when the running back runs untouched for 5 yards at a time, that's not the running back. That's those big boys up front using their physicality, imposing their will on the defense.
Absolutely, and here comes Brooklyn Garcia for his 3rd PAT of the night. And the kick is up, and it is good. Flower Bluff completely outplaying the McAllen Bulldogs tonight, up 21-zip, 5:06 left to play here in the 2nd quarter. Let's take a look at the Miracle Method replay, and you talked about it. You bragged about that offensive line, and well, I'm telling you, it was clear sailing for Mr. Smith right here.
Look at this gap. I mean, again, we talked about the parting of the Red Sea earlier on that drive. Same deal here. Sam Smith didn't break a sweat. He wasn't touched by an arm, anybody on the defense, and that's easy pickings for this team. And again, like McAllen, their defense continuing to have to be on the field. Short drives from the offense, leading to the defense having to play more and more and more. That wears you down, especially as a defensive lineman or a linebacker. You're cracking skulls on every single play, and you're sitting there going, I got to go up against this offensive line again. That's what this Bulldog defense is going through right now, and that's why it's more imperative than ever that McAllen, their offense, has a successful drive and is able to get some points on the board.
Well, I tell you, McAllen just can't get that running game going, and that has not opened up the passing game for them. So,
but on the flip side of things, you look back, we go back to that 100-yard pick six. They were moving the ball very well on that drive. Can they replicate that success here?
Another high kick, and it'll be fair caught at about the 25-yard line. All right, let's head back down to the field. Jim Brazil had been a busy man here in the first half. A lot of scoring, a lot of action by the Hornets.
One more fired up after that touchdown than senior offensive lineman Matt Howard. He came off the field just hollering and screaming. I'll tell you what, the coaches sat there and they talked to this offensive line, and they're saying, if McAllen's defensive line is just going to stand up, push them around like you have been, and that's what's happening. Both the offense and defensive lines for Flower Bluff have dictated this game, and they're going to keep that going, guys.
All right, Jim Bob, thank you. Appreciate that. 5:06 to play. Here come the Bulldogs down 21-0. And this is, well, the fake to Henderson, and the quarterback will keep it. And no, that's actually another player. That's not the quarterback. I didn't get a number on that. Did you get a number on that one, Drew?
I am seeing Hunter Morley, who's their starter, their leading rusher on the year with that rush. And Alan, you talked about it before the drive, their lack of success on the ground, kind of closing up that passing game. They need more big chunk runs like that, right? We see Sam Smith on one side of the ball. Hunter Morley responds here, and McAllen moving the ball early on this drive.
That was a nice fake to Henderson. Then they went to Morley, so that definitely caught the Hornets off their guard there, but not this time. Nothing there for Morley, who we talked about it. He came in averaging 108 yards a game. He came in almost with 1,200 yards rushing. But I don't know if he's gone up against a defense this good this year.
And I've just been so impressed with Flower Bluff's attitude, even when they give up a big chunk play or kind of a bad penalty. They respond on the play after. They don't, when it rains, it doesn't pour for this defense. They come back, they recover, they respond. That's been the key tonight for the Hornets defense.
2nd down. And once again, Wolford is in trouble. Look out. Oh, another big hit by the Hornets. This time it's big number 3, and that is Tristan Wilson, who made the nice quarterback sack there.
And this is the dual-sided, this is both edges of the sword here as we go to our Miracle Method replay. If you're Woltoff, you roll out here, defenders close on you, you got to throw that ball away. But because he's so proficient running the ball, he thinks, hey, I can make a play here, I can do something. And that leads to a sack. So if you're Woltoff, you got to cut your losses. You're rolling out of the pocket, get rid of that ball, live to fight another down.
Yeah, they look a little bit confused out there. Third down and 18. Let's see if they can have an 18-yard play here. And Woltoff was going to run this one himself. He's going to be short of a first down. He's about 4 yards short. There's nobody open downfield.
No, there isn't, and it's a big decision now for Patrick Shelby. You got 4th and 4, you're down 3 touchdowns. He's sending out the punt unit. I don't know, Alan, there's a lot of talk about analytics these days, and we don't have anything fancy like next-gen stats or anything to determine, hey, should you go for it on this down and distance, but my judgment says, hey, you're in a playoff game, you're on the road, you're down 3 scores, you're in enemy territory barely by a yard.
And Flower Bluff will get the ball to start the second half.
Absolutely, great point there too. We're seeing a timeout here from Flower Bluff. My thinking is you go in that timeout, you say, watch the fake, eyes, hard count, anything, right? Because this is the territory where, you know, they have nothing to lose by trying. If you're going to punt the ball, hey, hard count, hey, maybe go for a fake. We see a lot of those in high school football because these special team units, you know, aren't as prepared for those fake plays. So I think head coach Clint Elwood called that timeout to prepare his special teams unit and say, hey, this may not be a punt. This could be some trickery.
And speaking of Coach Elwood, we'll hear from him at halftime as he walks off the field as Jim Bob Brazil will grab him. That'll be a good interview. You never want to interview a guy who's getting the business, right?
I know I have this season on our broadcast.
You've done a good job. I mean, it's like, we already know that it's a tough night for that particular coach. We don't want to make it worse, but we do got to ask questions, right? All right, here we go. It's 4th and 4, and supposedly they will pump the ball here. We'll see.
Oliver Schwartz, the punter, great defender, linebacker for this team.
Oh, it's blocked. Look out. Morley's trying to get the ball back, but it doesn't matter. And look at Sims. He's fired up. He's jumping up and down. And once again, special teams comes up big. Let's look at the replay. Drew, let's see who actually got in there to knock that punt down.
Again, we're going to hail him again. Number 33, Anthony Mims. Watch him just bull rush up there.
Woo.
Just go right through the defense and get his hands on it. And from there, it's open season. Flower Bluff with great field position. Mims has just been a ball of energy tonight, and he's a talented player. But it's one thing to be talented. It's another to really infuse your team with that juice and that energy they need. It's a great delayed handoff there, and Sam Smith, a nice run on first down.
Yeah, it was, and he is about a yard shy of a first down, so it just doesn't look like McAllen's fired up for this football game. We have not seen any other players jump up and down like we have seen on that Flower Bluff side.
And again, that's a big part of, the pick six, right? Like McAllen, great drive. They were down 7. They were about ready to tie up the ball game, and all of a sudden you're down 14. And sports are a mental just as much as a physical game, right? It's so important that you're big and strong and you're fast. But what's going on inside that head? How are you approaching not only day to day, but during the game? And for McAllen, we've seen it. As you mentioned, Alan, the body language has not been there.
Jacob Crane was on the reception of that first down play. And back to pass. And a lot of running room here. And that's a Cruz down to about the 10-yard line.
And Lucian Cruz, just his decision-making, his ability to decide, hey, I'm going to go for this. There's a gap. I'm going to take it as we go to our Miracle Method replay once more. He surveys the defense. Nobody's open. I see a gap. My offensive line has it open. Here's the part I don't love. Don't take the hit there. Slide down. Cut your losses. I'm sure his coaches will be telling him, hey, we don't need you taking hits. We're trying to make a deep playoff run here. But still, great effort by Cruz. And now Flower Bluff threatening here.
Yeah, Sam Smith with a good run inside the 5-yard line. And we're going to have a timeout called here. And, it's a 2-minute timeout. I got to get used to these 2-minute timeouts in high school football. 21-zip, all Flower Bluff here on Game Night South Texas Playoff Edition. We'll be right back. Hi, everybody. Welcome back. Game Night South Texas live from Hornet Stadium. It's all Bluff up 21-zip. It's 2nd and goal now. They're driving it down the field again after a blocked punt. And this is Sam Snow. Yes, it is. No, did the quarterback keep it?
It looks like Cruz took it on the keeper. That was a little read option action, and he slipped. Again, Allen,
a lot of slips tonight.
I haven't covered a Flower Bluff game this year. We were both down on the field. Didn't see anything wrong with it.
I don't know. I saw you slip once, I thought. No, I'm kidding. Anyway, it's 3rd down. He did gain 2 on the play. It's third down from the 2-yard line. 3rd and goal. Let's see if Mr. Smith gets another opportunity. Or will Cruz take it in? Oh, man, that big defensive play there by number 33 for McAllen.
It's like Brian Perez there.
Yeah, that's the first sign of emotion that we've really seen from McAllen tonight. So it's 4th and goal, and it looks like they're going to bring on the field goal team. And yes, it is Brooklyn Garcia.
And I'm shocked that we're not seeing a timeout from the Bulldogs sideline right now.
Yeah, there's a minute 5. They've got
all 3 timeouts, it looks like, according to the scoreboard at least.
Yes. All right, this is going to be a 23-yard field goal for attempt for Garcia. And the snap is good. The kick is up, and it is solid. 24-0. Brooklyn Garcia stretches that Flower Bluff lead.
And again, really interesting to not see a timeout from McAllen. I mean, you could have saved 20, 25 seconds. You need a drive, but a little bit of good news for the Bulldogs, just a little. You stand tough, you force a field goal. It is still a 3-possession game by football math, right? You look at 3 touchdowns, 3 2-point conversions, that's 24 points. So still, you need a lot of help there. Still a 3-possession ball game. But again, where is the timeout? You're shedding 20, 25 seconds. And you're there sitting going, hey, we'll let it run down. We'll keep our timeouts. Well, what if you run out of time on this ensuing drive? Let's see what they have in the bag for this upcoming possession.
Coming up at halftime, we will have both bands. We'll have your halftime highlights. We'll have an interview with Coach Clint Elwood, get his thoughts. So be sure and stick around. And Drew will have hopefully he'll have some scores for us. A lot of games tonight.
To your point, Cal Allen is up 21-0.
I think it's now 28 last time I checked. Okay. Yeah, it's 27-7 now with 8:12 left in the second quarter over
so you're ahead
Phil Danaher Stadium.
I've got Dave Campbell's. You've got the inside scoop.
I've got some inside sources, Jeff. Another high kick. This is returnable. And there's nothing there, or maybe is there. Nice little effort by that young man. And he'll finally go down at the 35-yard line. 34.7 seconds. This is going to – do they throw the ball here or just run out the clock?
You have to, and again, that's why I'm harping on calling the timeout. You could have up to maybe a minute to run this drive, and now all of a sudden we've got to chuck the ball. We've got to get chunk plays, and maybe we'll get a long field goal, which we've already seen one missed field goal tonight from the Bulldogs, so you don't have a ton of confidence in your ability to hit a long one. You got to get this ball down the field, and you got to attack the middle of the field. I mean, that's been where they found success in the passing game. Woltoff has been getting swarmed by this defensive line. Watch out, because Anthony Mims is going to have a lot of time to rush the passer, and we've seen what he can do already in this game.
Watch for number 33. And Woltoff will drop back, and he'll throw. Henderson catches it, quickly gets out of bounds. That was only a gain of 3 yards.
And again, like we're talking about number 33, Mims, little spin move. He gave Woltoff no time, and they get the completion, but if they have to extend the play, they're not going to have a lot of time.
Well, he wasn't listening to you. They didn't go down the middle. They went quick left, slant left. So they need to, like you said, attack the middle of the field. And the quarterback will do that this time. That's he didn't hold on to it. That's an incomplete pass. And it was intended for number 81, Eden Maldonado. And that'll stop the clock with 23.9 seconds left. Third down and 6.
Maldonado's got to haul that one in. We already saw him bobble a reception earlier in this ball game, and that one you've got to have. You've got timeouts. You can play the entire field, and you complete that, you get in enemy territory, but instead, tough third down.
All right, back to pass. They'll throw it, and ooh, nice catch by Henderson, and I believe he got a foot down. That will be a first down. That will stop the clock with 18.8 seconds left as they move those chains, and I believe he got out of bounds as well. So, nice. Ball resting right at 50. Now we did see them try a 35-yard field goal earlier, so that means they're going to have to get at least to about the 25-yard line to try another one.
Absolutely, and it's a lot of ground to gain. I'd look for a little post-wheel action. You've got a spread formation, 2 receivers on both sides. Can you get both receivers going deep and see maybe if the safety's kind of spread out?
And the wind is starting to pick up. You can hear the wind hitting the microphone outside our press box here. Waltrip in trouble, and he'll go down. Another sack. A swarm of Hornets, and looks like that McAllen, or somebody did call timeout. And it was McAllen with 10.2. So once again, just no time for Mr. Waltrip to do anything.
And again, he's a runner. He, in his mind, hey, I can make this play. I can rush. But Flower Bluff's defensive line has been too fast. There's always an arm reaching out to grab the quarterback. There's always a defender coming, and coming to hit him. And again, the boogeyman, Anthony Mims, number 33, who has just been.
Is that his nickname, or did you come up with that?
That's what I'm coming up with.
Okay,
Because that's how
I like it.
That's how it feels. I mean,
well, I'd be scared to death too if he was running after me.
If I'm sitting there in a yellow helmet and a white jersey, and I see that guy coming down the middle, I'm frightened. Right? It's Michael Myers. It's Halloween, man. I mean, I know spooky season has passed us. We're moving on to Thanksgiving. But it is scary to see this kid work. A lot of fun up here in the booth, but I'm sure down there on the field, if you're the opposing team.
Well, he's got to be licking his chops here because they're going to throw the ball here, right? So he's going to come after the quarterback. Can we put a star on his helmet for Monday night? I'm just wondering. Can we do that? We could use some help on Monday. All right, here we go. 2nd and 15, 12 seconds left. And again, that doesn't really do you a whole lot of good, that little pass play there.
To your point, Alan, it's not getting you in field goal range. I mean, you want to trade. Flower Bluff will take that. Trade us seconds for yards. We can give up yards. You need 50 of them. I mean, and 25 to maybe attempt a field goal. But you only have 7 seconds. So we'll trade those seconds for yards all day.
Man, you missed a good one last week with 0.2 of a second left to kick that game-winning field goal by London last week.
Absolutely. Caught it on air, though.
Well, they're going to dump this out. This is Henderson. Henderson's not going anywhere, and that's going to be the final play of the first half. Total complete domination by the Flower Bluff Hornets, both on offense, defense, special teams, coaching, you name it, strategy. They did it all in the first half. And this is like a training film that they put together on how to win a playoff game here in the first half. Up 24-0. And we're going to be heading down to the field here in just a moment as Jim Bob Brazil is going to run down Coach Elwood, who's got to be feeling pretty good right now.
Really interested to hear Coach Elwood's thoughts after what has been an incredible first half for these Flower Bluff Hornets.
All right, let's head down to the field. Coach Jim Bob Brazil with Coach Elwood.
All right, guys, here with Flower Bluff head coach Clint Elwood. Coach, you got to be pleased with your defense in that first half.
I think we'll take all the positives and we'll run with it, but there's a lot we got to fix right now, so we'll get those guys right.
Big plays by your seniors, Anthony Mims, Colton Stray. Talk about their leadership and what it's going to take to finish this game.
Oh yeah, big time. We told them, before coming in, we got to rely on our seniors to do right and take advantage of big plays. And we had a couple big plays in stride, running one back right there, and nobody. It was up high and in front, no yellow flags out, so that's definitely a plus.
All right, Coach. Good luck in the second half.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you, brother.
Guys, back to you.
All right, Jim Bob, thank you. Appreciate it. Typical coach, right? He's got to find those faults, got to go in there and talk to his players, get them fired up for the second half. So there's your score. It's 24-0. All Bluff, Game Night South Texas, brought to you by Thomas J. Henry. When we come back, we'll have both bands. We'll have your highlights and a few more things we'll have for you, just for a surprise or two. We'll be right back.
And welcome back to Game Night South Texas. Drew Bishop here in the booth. Alan Hartwell, Jim Bob Brazil on our sidelines. And you're seeing right now a little bit of action from McAllen. A little halftime performance. We'll see their band, of course. This is the Truckers Equipment halftime show. In just a few moments, we will see the McAllen Bulldogs band, who's traveled a long way here to Flower Bluff to show off what they can do. And as we're set to go here with the McAllen band, Bulldogs about ready to take the field. Want to give a big shout out to our crew. We've got director Sean, we've got Eddie and Isaac on graphics and replay there in the van. Up top, we've got our camera folks, Suzanne and Will. Down on the field, Ralph working the camera in the stead of Noah. Of course, shout out our engineers, Dale, Anthony, everybody involved in the broadcast. Of course, Alan, Jim Bob, and myself. It's been a great season, and it looks like now we're going to see the McAllen Marching Band. So sit down, relax, enjoy a show from the Bulldogs.
Section of the week is the entire band. Tonight the band will perform for you by Sharona and Aiden Black. Kayla Mendez, the field is yours. Sarah Canning, Christopher Cruz, Victor Cox. Color guard directors are Freddie Gomez and Maria Hernandez. Color guard instructor is Lisa Moreno. Additional instructional staff include Ceci Gutierrez, Jason Garcia, Jeremiah Overgold. The band would also like to thank Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Renee Gutierrez, Director of Finance, Ms. Deborah Loya, McAllen Principal, Ms. Stephanie Freeland.
And a nice shot there of the Flower Bluff fans. They're excited. It's 24-0 at halftime. We'll be right back with more high school football action right here on Game Night South Texas.
Morgan Nelson and the 2025-2026 Colonel, Junior Caitlin Russell.
And welcome back to Game Night South Texas, right here on Chris 6. Just saw the McAllen halftime show, and the Flower Bluff Marching Band is right behind them as we see the Hornets line team putting on a little show right now. Some good halftime entertainment. Just to recap, in case you're just joining us, 24-0, Flower Bluff leads the McAllen Bulldogs after a nice drive in the first quarter, went up 7-0, and then a 100-yard interception return for a touchdown by Colton Stray put up the Hornets 14-0. And then Sam Smith rushing in a touchdown from 3 yards out with about 5 minutes to play in the second quarter, and then a nice field goal in the final minute of the second. And that's been the action for our first half. And of course, as you see, those line dancers for Flower Bluff. Sit back, relax, enjoy the show. The marching band for the Hornets is right behind them, right here on Game Night South Texas. And welcome back to Game Night South Texas. Drew Bishop joining you again here as we see the line team. Got a few scores for you from around the area tonight. We had some Thursday night action last night, and same here on Friday. This is according to Dave Campbell's Texas Football. Refugio, the Bobcats lead the Weimar Wildcats 7-0 in the waning moments of the second quarter. McAllen up 27-14 at halftime over El Campo. Looking at the Poth Pirates, the battle of the Pirates versus the Greyhounds. Taft is down 55-7. That is going to be a tough comeback. And London tied up with Rio Hondo at halftime. It's 21-all, Bobcats and Pirates in that first round matchup. Sinton leading 21-7. That's as of 3 minutes in the first quarter. Again, this is all according to Dave Campbell's. Orange Grove leads Raymondville 13-7. And George West, an incredible season, leads 24-7 with 3 minutes in the second quarter over Garnes City. And now we're joined again by Alan Hartwell. Alan, you're reviewing some of our highlights there while we were in break. Talk to us a little bit here.
All right, are we going to do highlights now, or are we going to, is the guys down the truck ready? All right, let's go to your first half highlights. And we had quite a few if you're a Flower Bluff fan, so I know you will enjoy this. Here we go, courtesy of our good friends at Miracle Method. All right, here come the McAllen Bulldogs. Well, they just couldn't get anything going on offense early on. It's probably a lot to do with that man right there, Mr. Mims, who was all over the place. And that forced a fourth and long, and McAllen ended up having, he's a good dancer too. He's had a lot of practice, I'm sure it looks like, throughout these games. Second possession for Flower Bluff tonight. 4th and 2, they go to the passing game. That's quarterback Lucian Cruz to Ransom Watson. Wide open. 22 yards later, it's 7-0 Bluff. And this will be the beginning of kind of an avalanche here for the Flower Bluff Hornets. And then this time, this is the big play right here. You'll see the receiver from McAllen. He'll slip, and there is Colton Stray right there. Takes it from about 5 yards deep in his own end zone. He'll bring it back 105 yards. So what looked like could have been a 7-7 tie wound up being a 14-0 lead for the Flower Bluff Hornets. So just like that, they had themselves a 2-touchdown lead. Still second quarter. And once again, this is Sam Smith getting it on the action. Up the gut, wasn't even touched. And that made that 21-0. And then Mr. Mims, he can do it all. Not only does he, well, tackle, he can block punts. And that's exactly what he did right here. Probably a little disappointing, Drew, was the fact that Flower Bluff didn't convert on a touchdown after this, but they did settle for a 23-yard field goal courtesy of Brooklyn Garcia, and here it is. And that is where we stand right now at halftime. It's all Flower Bluff, 24-0, and there's your first half highlights.
And to your point, Alan, like when we talked with Coach Elwood going into break, we've raved about how good of a half this was, and he was more focused on what they didn't get done or what they need to clean up. And so that drive right there, you get a block punt, you get great field position, but only 3 points. That could be a focal point for Flower Bluff. Again, you're in the postseason now, so it's not just about this game. You feel comfortable, but it's not just one game. You're trying to build. You're trying to build momentum. You're trying to clean everything up as you continue to move on in playoffs. First things first, you got to take care of this one. But Flower Bluff is going to look to have an even better second half coming out of the locker room.
So we're hearing if the Bluff hangs on, wins tonight, there's a chance they could get another home game next week. Is it Piper, I believe?
Yes.
Piper is playing, eludes me, their opponent tonight. But if Piper were to win tonight, they would have to come to Flower Bluff because they played each other last year. Piper won the flip a year ago, so that means they owe Flower Bluff a trip. So anyway, let's listen to that Flower Bluff band.
Song, Still Fly.
Great job there from the Flower Bluff Marching Band. Of course, it's postseason action for our football team, but it's also postseason for the band. They get a few extra opportunities to show what they can do, and the Hornets did that right there. Big shout out to this group, as well as the McAllen Marching Band, and of course the line teams for both squads. Because now it's halftime here. We're just minutes away from the third quarter. We'll be right back with more high school football action right here on Game Night South Texas.
Hi, good evening, everybody. Friday nights are made for high school football. We got playoff action tonight right here at Hornet Stadium, and it's all Flower Bluff 24-0 as we get ready to start the second half. Alan Harwell with Drew Bishop and Jim Bob Brazil on the sidelines, and of course, back at the station, we got Larissa Liska getting ready for the Friday Night Fever. Do you know which highlights she's going to have tonight? I know she's going to have a lot.
I mean, we're jam-packed. I know she's, I know last time I checked, we're all in a group chat together. She's covering Rockport's game, heading to Allen. I know she has her producers out there covering. We should have 6 to 7 games, including highlights from this one right here. So if you want to catch a little recap here and then see what's going on around South Texas, around the Coastal Bend, definitely tune in there on the Friday Night Fever. But for now, Alan, we've still got another half of football right here on Game Night South Texas, and I'm excited.
Well, I tell you what, McAllen, they got their hands full here. They're going to have, remember, they're going to have to kick off here. So the Bluff is going to get the ball to start the second half, and they've been able to move it up and down the field quite extensively tonight. Special teams has looked good, and so far we do have one hit, big hit of the game, and it'd be interesting to see if there's any nominees here in the second half, because you know, or at least you would think, McAllen's going to have to throw a ball a lot here in the second half.
Right, and that should open up time for that rushing attack, that defensive line, that stout defensive line for the Flower Bluff Hornets. I mean, it's not just Anthony Mims, it's been Landon Green, it's been Micah Mitchell, it's these players who, they don't quit. They're not showing any signs of fatigue, being tired. They continue to fight, and they're going to get a little extra rest out of the halftime locker room. As you mentioned, Alan, Flower Bluff receiving the ball here in the third quarter.
So the Hornets came in as the number 2 team. They went 9-1 this year, and for McAllen, they were the number 3 team out of that valley, out of District 16-5A Division I. They went 7-3 overall. Sam Smith back. And there's actually 3 guys back, but this is going to be Smith from the 5-yard line. Here we go, 10, 15, 20, looking for a hole, finds one to the 25, breaks out to the outside, 30, 35, just keeps motoring all the way up to about the 37-yard line. Great kickoff return by Sam Smith.
Great blocking there from the special teams unit. You saw a lot of Hornets staying on their blocks, staying strong. That's that efficient type of action that you want to see from your special teams unit. As you see more of that side-to-side field running, usually defenders are able to spring loose and make a play, but no such thing, and Flower Bluff is going to get good field position from the 36 to start this drive.
All right, here we go. Let's see what the Hornets have done. They've done a good job of mixing it up, run game, passing game. And Lucian Cruz, the senior, he doesn't want this to be his last game, that's for sure. He's got all day to throw the ball, and it's a quick toss, and it's a catch, and maybe a gain of about 6 or 7. It looks like number 5. That's Jacob Crane, who hauled in the loose pigskin there.
And Alan, it looks like we have our sideline reporter, Jim Bob, down there, ready with the report. Jim Bob, what do you see?
Hey guys, I had a chance to overhear some of the McAllen players coming out of the locker room, and they were just preaching one play at a time to get back in this game. And the other thing they said is no mental mistakes. You had the blocked punt, you had an interception return for a touchdown, and that's really what's put this game out of reach so far for McAllen. So for the Bulldogs, it's going to be slow and steady and no mistakes to try and get back in this game.
All right, Chip Bob, thank you. Meanwhile, that was Smith on the carry, and he's about a yard shy of a first down, so it'll be 3rd down and 1.
Great report from JB down there on the sideline. As he mentioned, I mean, this deficit forces you on the McAllen side to not.
Oh, Smith with a big hole right here.
And really
first down and 4.
Of those mistakes.
Yes, absolutely. First down and more for Sam Smith down to the 46-yard line. Yeah, I think JB's having a lot of fun down there.
Absolutely. I mean, it is his birthday after all. It's no cake and candles. It's no party hats, but we have a good time here on Game Night South Texas.
Absolutely. 1st and 10 now. And Flower Bluff is having a good time here as well. And he'll throw. Got a man wide open. That's going to be another Flower Bluff touchdown. That is Jacob Crane. And just like that, the Hornets strike again. Only took them about a minute 20 to score. And it's now 30-0. Boy.
What a beautiful touch pass from quarterback Lucian Cruz. I mean, he saw his guy wide open there in the corner of the field, lofted it right up, hit him in stride, left no doubt there, and all Jacob Kane had to do was waltz into the end zone. That's the type of play that you come out of half, you dream about. You don't always get that, but right there, that's what Flower Bluff was looking for.
All right, the kick is up, and it is good once again by Brooklyn Garcia. So with 10:46 to play here in the 3rd chapter, it's Flower Bluff leading now 31-0. It's a blowout here at Hornet Stadium. Back with more of Game Night South Texas right after this. Well, so far it is party time here in Flower Bluff. It's all Hornets up 31-0. 10:46 to play here in the 3rd quarter. And the route is on, at least for now. And once again, Mr. Brooklyn Garcia out to kick off. Boy, he's kicked off a lot tonight. He's kicked a lot of PATs.
I was going to say, Alan, on that last PAT, he sent it right through the upright. I mean, it's a short kick, but he's got a leg on him.
Well, he heard you talking there because he kicked it all the way into the end zone. It looked like it was a low snap, too. It was a good job by the holder. Did you notice that? He had to pick it up. All right, let's head down to the field with Jim Bob. Jim Bob, what you got for us?
Third quarter score, veterans.
Yeah, guys, right back behind me, the senior wide receiver, Colton Kane, who caught that touchdown. We're just talking to some of the other players here. That coverage they were in is exactly what they talked about in the locker room. So when the players are like, hey, what coverage were they in? It was exactly what they thought it would be. That halftime adjustment turned into a touchdown right off the bat for the Flower Bluff Hornets, guys.
All right, we'll go back and we're going to look at that touchdown here in just a moment. But here we go, 1st down and 10. And back to the run. Ooh, man, big hit. There's about 3 of them swarming in there. And look who finished it up, Mr. number 33.
And every time he comes out from one of those plays, he's fired up, he's yelling and screaming. He's not unsportsmanlike. He's not doing anything in anybody's face, but he's firing up his teammates. He's getting excited. It's that type of energy you feed off.
Yeah, we need to go back and look at that touchdown play if we can. I don't know if we got enough time before they snap the ball here, but let's do that maybe right after this play. They lost 3 yards on the play. It's now 2nd and 13. Well, there's just no running room for this.
And it leads
Bulldog
to
running attack.
these longer down and distances, and they're harder to convert. They get more and more difficult as the game continues.
Woldhoff back, throws, catch. And that's one of their better pass plays of the night. He may have a 1st down. Nope. Or does he? All right, let's go back and look at the Miracle Method touchdown by the Flower Bluff Hornets.
And Alan, I'm really interested to see this coverage that we're talking about. It's a straight streaks down the field, fade down the right side, and it's pretty cut and dry, simple play. You can see number 15 there communicating, saying, hey, that wasn't my zone, that was your zone. So clearly a miscommunication in that coverage, and going back to Jim Bob's point on the sideline, that was what Flower Bluff was trying to attack, and they executed there on that play. It's just simple plan and execution that leads to that touchdown for the Hornets.
Now Jacob Kane was so wide open, he says, man, please don't let me drop this. And he didn't.
It's one of those, when you're a wide receiver, sometimes those are harder than the contested catches because you get to think about it. You go, man, I really hope I don't screw this up. But he didn't. He converted, and all is well here on this sideline.
2nd down and 12 now. And they'll go back to the pass game, and nice catch. Not a whole lot of yardage, but that's a nice catch. I can't tell if that's a 5 or a 6. That's a 5, right? Yeah, there we go. That is Alan Cinco Jones, senior. So 3rd and 7 now. Man, you're almost, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but you're almost in 4-down territory here when you're down 31-0.
Absolutely, and again, going back to our earlier conversation, they had a 4th and 4 at midfield. They were down 21-0. I thought they should have gone for it. You're definitely going for it here at this point in the ballgame.
Well, I thought you were heading down to their locker room at halftime to give the coach a little bit of strategy. There's a big sack, number 10. That is Owen Becerra with a big sack for the Flower Bluff Hornets as he gets in on the action. And he's slow to get up. Not sure what happened there.
Might have gotten rolled up on that play, but it's going to be.
Okay, we're going to take an injury timeout. 31-zip Game Night South Texas brought to you by Thomas J. Henry. We'll roll on after this quick timeout. Hi, everybody. Welcome back. Game Night South Texas. 8:42 to play. It's all Flower Bluff 31-zip. It is 4th down, and they're not taking your advice, Drew. They're going to pump the ball away.
After that sack, it's a tough down to convert, 12 yards. But, again, you got nothing on the board. You got nothing to lose. There's no point differential here. But regardless, Flower Bluff trying to return this punt.
Not really a whole lot there for Colton Stray. And Flower Bluff will get good field position here. So we had talked earlier, we were going to talk about this during halftime, but we got an extra moment here. What team really surprised you this year in high school football, Coastal Bend wise?
So I want to go back to earlier this season, start of district play. I was out in George West, took the drive to George West for a Friday night game, saw the Longhorns manhandle the Odom Owls, a team that they've traded district back and forth over the years. And for me, the Longhorns, undefeated on the season, have really impressed me. They took their district as an incomplete pass there, a drop by Watson. But looking at them now, they're up big. I'm going to check here on Dave Campbell's Allen, and they're up 32-7 in their opening playoff matchup. And so George West, I don't know if it was necessarily a surprise. They have a lot of talent over there. Cohen Blunt is a great back, but they've really handled every opponent. They haven't had a lot of mental lapses. And being out at their practices, seeing how they conduct themselves, seeing how Rod Blunt has really directed that program early on in his tenure, that's been impressive. So that's a team that has surprised me. Not necessarily their results this season, but just how they continue to handle business week in and week out.
3rd and 6 now for the Hornets as they kind of keep this drive alive, up 31-0. And back to pass, going deep, got a man. Oh, just barely overthrow. Jacob Kane was looking to score again there. He was open. Let's look at that again if we could, guys. Back in the truck. And I'm going to show you just how open he was. And it's, of course, our surface refinishing repair folks from Miracle Method. Watch here, Drew. He's just, man, he would have walked in on that touchdown.
James Porter, to your point, wide open, Allen. And Lucian Cruz, we've seen some nice touch from him, but just a little strong, just a little over the top. And those are the plays, hey, work on it. We're in game action. Let's try to convert that next week if we advance in this game, right? Let's go back to that and see if we can spring one.
A rare punt here by the Hornets, and the runner will go down. He was out of bounds at the 5-yard line. So they're 95 yards away from the goal line, down 31-0. We're of course talking about the McAllen Bulldogs, who again came in 7-3, finished 3rd place out of District 15 5A Division I. They went 5-2 in district, and again 7-3 overall. They did come in with riding a 4-game win streak tonight.
Absolutely, and again, talking with coaches on the McAllen sideline and Patrick Shelby, telling me that they've really been able to handle business. They've played some really tough teams, but when they've had opponents in front of them that they feel they match up well with, they've been able to manage, and tonight has been a real shock for this team. Again, going back to the first few drives, this McAllen ball club was moving the ball. That opening drive, we saw them get right in close to the red zone. They had that field goal that barely missed. Another good drive on their second possession where they got into the 6-yard line, but then come up a little empty, and there's a miscommunication on that play, incomplete pass. But it looked good early on for the Bulldogs, but some of those momentum plays, pick 6, block punt, long sustained drives by Flower Bluff, have really killed the momentum of McAllen.
Well, they brought a good crowd tonight on a Friday night. They got the band here. They got the drill team. They got a really good crowd on the other side. Of course, it's always packed on the Flower Bluff sideline. And I don't know if you've heard the big news. They're going to redo this stadium.
Absolutely.
Completely. Have you heard what all they're going to? It's pretty exciting stuff.
Yeah, and you know, it's a lovely press box now, but you know, Alan, I want to come back when this stadium is renovated and they have a brand new press box and it's even better and brighter. Obviously a great facility here, but they're looking at some upgrades. You know, we're out in Alice. They're building that new stadium as well. So a lot of big things for our Coastal Bend teams.
Absolutely, 3rd and 11. So if we come to the press box next time, it'll be on the other side of the field. I'm not really sure if they're going to do it. I don't know when that construction will take place. I don't know if it's this year, next year. Have you heard?
I have not, but I know, you know, we'll have our news team will continue to follow it. I know we've had our neighborhood news reporters on the Alice project all this season, and we'll continue to update you guys. A nice run there by Woltoff, and he's going to get the first down for McAllen. And
they'll move those chains. Again, they started this drive from their own 5-yard line. They're going to get a brand new video board. It'll be on the opposite side of the end zones where the current scoreboard is. They're going to build a new gym, and it's going to be really nice.
If you're a middle schooler or early on in high school at Flower Bluff, you're just licking your chops. You're just excited for those facilities to be built. Coaches, faculty members, you know, those folks are working hard, and they deserve the very best.
1st and 10 now. Woltoff back, throws, and boy, another not even close to the intended receiver.
We've seen a few miscommunications, specifically on this drive, but all night long for McAllen. And I think, again, that goes to your point, Alan, about the body language, about some of the momentum shifts and how much that's kind of a struggle for this team. And you can see there the cheerleaders for Flower Bluff for their Rally Credit Union towel giveaway. Alan, I was down on the field with the ladies earlier, giving them those rally towels. They're getting excited. Shout out to that group. Shout out to the cheerleading coaches as well as shout out to Rally Credit Union for getting us those rally towels.
That was a big run by Hunter Morley, and Morley is going to pick up the first down for the McAllen Bulldogs. Yeah, Rally Credit Union doing a great job. Coming on board is a great sponsor for Game Night South Texas.
And boy, it's nice to be a cheerleader on a night when you're having so much success, right? There's plenty to cheer about. The crowd's excited. You can feed off that energy, and that's a talented group there for Flower Bluff.
Way downfield and overthrows. Looks like that time it was intended for number 5. I can't tell if that's a 5 or a 6. You know that those jerseys get rolled up sometimes.
I believe that is Cinco Jones.
Cinco, yes.
And that's not the first time we've seen Woltoff kind of loft it over and Cinco kind of breaking past the secondary, getting over the top, and that could be a point for Flower Bluff in this week's practice. Hey, we can't let men behind us. We can't let receivers, break that cover 4, that cover 2. We've got to be better in the secondary.
Oh, man, here's a big quarterback keeper. Woltoff takes it, and that's a big gainer up to about the 44. That will be another McAllen Bulldog first down.
Woltoff might have to use his legs a lot here. You got to go up tempo, right? And you can see it here. They're not huddling up. They're not waiting.
What do you think is going through his mind tonight, Drew? He's a senior. He knows this could be his last football game.
And that's a great point. I mean, in these playoff games, you're on the road especially. You've played your last game at home. You leave it all out there, right? I mean, when you're in high school, when you're 17, 18 years old, you don't have a lot of points of reference, but you know at the very least that this is something you're going to look back on for the rest of your life. Your experience on the field, your experience with your teammates, with your friends. I mean, Alan, I interview these kids all the time. You've interviewed a lot of kids in your day. They always talk about, hey, this is a group that we grew up together, right? We played since 4th grade, since 5th grade, as you see Coach Elwood there on the sideline signaling to his defense. But when you're a senior and your season's on the line, you think about just playing for your brothers one last time.
Good point. 2nd and 10. Woltoff back throws, and it's a catch. And not really a whole lot of gain there, maybe a couple of yards.
Looks like they were trying to set up a screen play, but again, Flower Bluff, very fundamental. I love the eyes from the defense, and what I mean by that is you're keyed in on your keys, right? The first thing you look at, if you're a corner or if you're a safety, you're looking at that outside tackle. Is he standing up for pass or is he going down for run? That's your first key that you've got to read. And they've done a great job at reading those keys and immediately responding and filling those gaps tonight. And that's been really impressive for the Hornet defense.
Here we go, 3rd and 9. Big play for McAllen. Got to keep this drive alive. Woltoff in trouble. He'll roll left, trying to find. Oh, man, there's a big hit. There's you another big hit nominee. That's number 8. Colton Strays doing it all tonight. Offense, defense. Well, it's going to be 4th and long. Actually, it's going to be now 4th and 13 as Miracle Method is going to show us the replay. And you'll see Colton Stray coming up right here. He's not going to let that young man go anywhere.
It's hard. Woltoff, a slippery, fast player, but the Flower Bluff defense continues to swarm.
Once again, they're going to have to pump the ball away. And that is Stray. Will not have a chance to return this one. That'll stop the clock. 3 minutes and 30 seconds left here in the 3rd chapter. It's 31-0 all Flower Bluff.
And we've got a super fan down there for Flower Bluff. Nice shot from our cameraman Noah. He's firing up the fans. He's not going anywhere. Neither are the rest of these people for Flower Bluff. Look at that #1 fan jacket. I don't know, Alan. You think you'd wear something like that on a Friday night?
I don't know.
You see a fathead out there. I mean, this a full crowd for the Hornets tonight. A lot of times you go, oh, the game's over. It's 31 points. I'll beat traffic. Not these fans. They're loving it, and that #1 fan is eating it up tonight.
Back to the passing game, and in out of the hands of number 5. That is James Porter. James is down. Got hit pretty hard, and we're going to have an injury time out here at Hornet Stadium. Hopefully Mr. Porter is going to be okay. He took a really hard hit. We're going to probably head back down to the field here in just a moment with JB. I think he's going to have some updates for us as he gets set up. So let's head back down, and as soon as he gets his microphone turned on. All right, let's head down to JB. What you got for us?
Hey guys, I was just watching Owen Beseda here, the senior defensive end. He was injured a couple series ago. He's talking with the trainers, slammed his hand on the bench, hasn't really gotten up since. He did get up whenever they forced the punt, but he hasn't been moving around. I'm not sure if he's done for this game or not, but he is a senior and he looks pretty upset. Guys?
Well, I tell you what, and we're not too happy about James Porter going off the field here too. He needed some assistance, but he refused it, and now he is able to walk off the field. That's good news.
You see Coach, excuse me, Alan, and Coach Elwood talking to his player, walking him off the field, asking if he's okay. It looks like he's holding that right hand, so maybe a jammed finger. And we'll keep our eyes on him down there.
2nd and 10, and the quarterback, Lucian Cruz, stays in the ball game. As I believe everybody's still in there. Here's a toss out to number 19. That is Alan Jorgensen. That's another new name we haven't mentioned tonight. Jorgensen is a junior wide receiver, and he makes the catch. So another wide receiver makes its presence known here.
And it wasn't just the wideout. I'm seeing some big boys, Aiden Rivera, Talon Bregman. I'm seeing him get in action. I mean, as a lineman, some of the most fun moments you'll have is pulling and getting out with those screens and a big run here.
Yeah, Sam Smith, boy, I tell you what. Oh, he run over number 11 all the way down to the 28-yard line. Big run by Sam Smith. Boy, he had a big gaping hole, took advantage, turned down the speed, and then ran over about 3 would-be McAllen Bulldogs. In fact, one of the young men that tried to bring him down is injured.
And now we're going to go to our Miracle Method replay and take a look at that strong run by Sam Smith.
Boy, he looks like a tough runner, doesn't he?
And it's so complimentary. Look at that hole right there, Alan. Look at how wide it is. And that Sam Smith still hasn't been touched. He's finally touched after about 15, 20 yards, but then he continues to deliver the blow, right? I used to hear a saying from one of my old coaches, be the hammer, not the nail. And that's what Sam Smith has been doing tonight. And it's really complimentary when your line opens those big gaps. You can get your feet churning, you can get some momentum, and then you can deliver that cold shoulder and really drive through some more defenders. And that's that physicality that has Flower Bluff up by 31 late in this ball game.
You said, Coach, where'd you play at?
I was up north. I hail from Ohio.
Okay.
From the Buckeye State.
What high school?
So I graduated from Huron High School,
Okay.
real small school.
Okay.
Right? We're a lot similar to the sizes of some of these schools that we see here.
So what position did you play?
I was a wide receiver, cornerback, outside linebacker.
Okay, so you.
Yeah, so I wasn't any of these big boys who are creating the holes up front, but that was something that an offensive line coach would always say, be the hammer, not the nail. We had it painted on our weight room, and I think that phrase perfectly sums up what football is all about.
Cruz is rolling right. He's got a man wide open if he can get it, and he does. That's Watson with the touchdown grab. Ransom Watson with his second touchdown of the night. Boy, that was a beautiful play by Cruz, right? He rolled to his right, able to wait for Watson to open up and made the catch.
Absolutely, Alan. I mean, that's a tough throw to make. On the move, you've got to have a steady arm. You've got to have a good control of your body, your core. And Cruz showed it there, and that's Ransom Watson's 10th touchdown on the season. Really impressive from the wideout. Great throw from Cruz. Flower Bluff is rolling, and I'm sure that #1 fan is somewhere out here in the stands having a good time.
I imagine. Once again, it's Brooklyn Garcia with the extra point. It's good. 2:32 to play here in the third quarter. It's now 38-0 in favor of the Flower Bluff Hornets. So we're going to mark Watson down now for his second touchdown of the night. So let's take a look at that. And we still got to figure out who our player of the game is. It's kind of still wide open, but it's starting to maybe, man, it's going to be tough.
Well, let's take a look first at our Miracle Method replay. And Watson is threatening for that player of the game. He's got some stiff competition. But Lucian Cruz rolling out. Look at that touch right there, Alan. I mean, the way he makes that look effortlessly, the flick of the wrist. Watson with the toe tap. He's feeling himself.
Got both feet inbound.
Right,
yeah,
right. That's an NFL touchdown.
He's practicing for later down the road when he gets paid to play, right?
Absolutely. And that celebration with his teammates, he's fired up. It's been all Flower Bluff. Right now, referees on the field, they're talking over. Look like some extracurriculars. Ethan Satsky and
Unsportsmanlike conduct. Unsportsmanlike conduct. Fouls will offset.
All right, so we had unsportsmanlike on both sides, Drew, and they'll offset. I hate that.
So I actually was watching this during the extra point. Watch the right side of the field goal unit after this kick. Nice kick. Right through the uprights, and you see number 7, number 17 on that right side. That's Ethan Satsky and Elijah Swartz, and just getting caught up in the heat of the moment, both throwing some jabs at one another. And again, we talked about the emotion. We saw it at the beginning of the game, but you see the Flower Bluff coaching staff. They're rallying their guys, come back to the sideline. We don't need to lose anybody, no suspensions. We want to play a clean game, and that's what sports are all about, right? There's competition. People get fired up. It's what people need. But sometimes you get caught up in the heat of the moment. That can lead to some penalties, offsetting there, and you hope we play some clean game. But look at this right here. Clint Elwood.
Teaching moment right here, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. We need you next week, young man, because we're going to go to the second round of the playoffs.
And any good coach will tell you it's not just about raising or having a good football team. It's about raising a good group of young men. It's about teaching morals and values and respect. And so it's not only a teaching moment for the season or for that player for the following week. It's for life. It's saying, hey, if you have a disagreement with someone in the workplace, with someone, at school, with anything, you need to learn how to properly resolve that and not do something like that. And that's really, what the game of football can teach.
All right, this is number 12 on the return, and that is Joaquin Alvarez, the junior. And we got another fight going on here. Well, right about the 30-yard line. And they quickly got that disturbance under control. That was number 19, Alan Jorgensen. I think he was just trying to defend himself. And we're gonna, all right, let's go back and take a look at it. Looked like it was 2-on-1 there. Let's see if we can pick this up courtesy of Miracle Method.
So big scrum, big mess of players there.
But this has taken place in the middle of the field.
A little push out of bounds, a little shoulder bump.
Yeah.
Something was said or exchanged. It looks like it was all happening away from the play there. Like you said, Allen, number 19.
He was surrounded, I think, by like 3 McAllen Bulldog players. I think he was just trying to defend himself.
And head coach Elwood, you can see down the field, pleading his case, talking with the referees. I'm sure Patrick Shelby on the opposite sideline doing the same.
Let's see how much longer that Coach Elwood's going to leave his starters in.
And look at the huddle over there for McAllen. That's not a normal huddle. That's not normally what happened. That's the entire team. And that's a coach. I'm very willing to bet a coach addressing his entire team, because he said, no, not just the starters, not just the offense, not just who's about to go on the field, everybody over here now. That's a little less. I mean, it's still a teaching moment, but it's a moment of reckoning. It's, guys, we're not putting up with this. And
yeah, once again, it's offsetting. So they will start now from the 34-yard line, down 38-0 the Bulldogs. And McCoy Woltoff in the shotgun. Hunter Morley's gone the entire distance running the football. There he is again. Got a little bit of an opening as he gets up to about the 40-yard line. That's going to be about a 7-8 yard gain. Let's head down to Jim Bob Brazil. Well, a lot going on down there. Extracurriculars going on.
Yeah, guys, in between the extra point and that last unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, the coaches on the sideline told Flower Bluff players, hey, somebody's going to do something stupid. Don't be that somebody. And not 30 seconds later, we have another skirmish here, and that's why the coach brought that whole team out into a huddle to make sure that they're not the somebody that does something stupid, guys.
Yeah, it's tough when you're down 38-0. Like you said, tippers can flare, and hopefully everybody will cool down here for the rest of the ball game.
And Alan, to your earlier point about a senior being, their last game potentially, you don't want to soil that. You don't want to, taint that with, extracurriculars like that, fights, penalties. You certainly don't want to get kicked out of the game. So a good moment there for Coach Shelby and Coach Elwood to both gather their guys and teach some discipline.
3rd down and 5 now. Woltoff rolls right, throws. He was being pursued by big number 47,
Micah Mitchell, right there.
Micah Mitchell. You know what? You've got a better. Your lineup, your roster looks better than Florida. I got 4 pages of players. You got 1 page. Takes me longer to find that player.
I will say, I learned from the best, right? I'm filling big shoes tonight. Sports director Larissa Liska teaches me well, and she always makes sure I'm well prepared. So. Well,
you have been tonight. You've been awesome. Thanks for being on the broadcast tonight.
Oh, I appreciate you having me, of course. Like our whole crew and sharing the call with you, Alan. Like I said, I spent a lot of time down on the sidelines. I really enjoy it, but it's nice to get this other perspective up here from the booth.
Once again, they're going to have to pump the ball away, and this ball is returned. Ooh, right into his own guy, and they'll get up to about the 41-yard line. So Larissa's not here tonight again, in case you're just tuning in. She's preparing for the Friday Night Fever. Lots of highlights, scores coming up here at 10 o'clock. See, what time is it right now? It's 9:03, so this game should end in plenty of time. I had a dream last night that we had like 4 overtimes, and we missed the whole 10 o'clock newscast.
So you're not omnipotent, or you're not all knowing. You're still mortal.
Yes, absolutely, always, yes. All right, 1st and 10 now for the Bluff from their own 41-yard line, up 38-0. And Cruz drops, throws, quick catch, gain of maybe about 4, maybe 5. It'll be 2nd down.
The play calling is really interesting because they continue to pass the ball. They continue to open up the playbook in full. I really think from the Flower Bluff side of things, you're just trying to see what works and what doesn't in your playbook as you advance to the next week. I mean, you're up by 38. You could just run the ball, churn the clock, but you kind of want to see what you have in all facets of your offense.
Sam Smith on the carry, and he'll pick up maybe about 2, maybe 3. So about 3rd down and 2 now. Minute left exactly here in the 3rd quarter. It has been a while since we've had a playoff game on the Game Night South Texas. The last one we did, Drew, was, Probably about 6-7 years ago, we covered Refugio up in Houston. They won that game and went on to the, that was a state semis. They went on to the championship game up at Cowboy Stadium. Now, of course, AT&T Stadium.
And I know that's what Director Sean Manning told me yesterday, was that this is the first playoff game we've had since COVID, since the COVID era.
Yes.
So a big moment for Game Night South Texas as well. And I know when the whole crew found out this week that we were getting another week, that we were extending our season in a way, like a lot of these teams are extending theirs, that we were all really excited to bring the Coastal Bend some more high school football action.
Well, that's going to wrap up the third quarter, everybody. It's now 38-0, all Flower Bluff in this game. We're so happy you've tuned in to watch Game Night South Texas. Back with the fourth quarter right after this. Well, Samuel Smith has had a big night. Lucian Cruz has had a big night. Anybody wearing that? And that guy right there has had a big night. You know, when you're the #1 fan and you're up 38-0, that's a lot to cheer about, right? You think he sat down tonight?
No way. No way. This is the dream, right? I mean, it may be Jim Bob's actual birthday, but for the #1 fan, this is a gift like no other, right? An opening round playoff victory in dominant fashion.
For sure. Cruz throws. That's Ransom Watson. Watson with his second straight reception. He stays in bounds. That'll keep the clock running. You know, we get to the point now where we got to start filling some time. You know that, right? It's 38-0. I do want to mention tomorrow the Javelinas will be at Eastern New Mexico. We're going to wrap up the regular season. We're 4-6, but we did win 64-13 last week against Western New Mexico. All our losses have come touchdown or less, so we have not been blown out in any games this year.
So the Javelinas are always in it, no matter what.
Absolutely. Cruz pass incomplete. That'll stop the clock with 11:28 to play. Boy, you hear that wind blowing. That wind is beginning to howl here. Where's the cold weather? It's supposed to be in the 90s this weekend. This is not November weather.
I mean, you're telling me, man. I'm a northerner at heart, Alan. So for me, it's a whole new world. It almost, I've grown up on the East Coast, northern my whole life. It almost messes with my sense of time to not feel a bitter chill in the air this time of year. It feels like extended summer. And there's an extended play right there on the screen. That's number 15, Jacob Kane, his second touchdown of the night for Flower Bluff. Lucian Cruz delivering another passing score, and Flower Bluff now up 44-0. How about that play, Alan?
Well, I tell you what, you draw that up on the blackboard like that, and that was absolute perfection.
It's almost like they lulled the defense to sleep, but they didn't see it coming. He was almost jogging, walking, taking his time. I mean, I know I was mid-thought, and I was like, oh, I'll get tackled there, and he just sprung it loose, got right to the end zone.
And the kick is again good by Brooklyn. I don't even have to look at it. I know it's going to be good, right? So 45-0. Okay, so you talked about the fact that you lived in, you grew up in Ohio, right? I actually worked at a TV station in Ohio for 1 year in 1999 in Youngstown, Ohio.
Youngstown.
I don't know if that's close to where you were, but
about an hour and a half away.
Okay, WKBN, a CBS affiliate.
Okay.
And got to cover the Indians, the Pirates for baseball, and got to cover a playoff game between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the New England Patriots. That was a lot of fun at the old Three River Stadium. Mm-hmm. And we enjoyed Ohio, but there's nothing like Texas. So we ended up coming back, and we just love Texas. There's no question about it.
People not from around here that always ask me, what's Texas like? And I say Texas is its own country. It's not just a state, it's its own nation in a way, with almost states in its cities, right? Houston, Austin.
And it's no big deal to drive 10 hours to get somewhere. It's no big deal.
Right, from one end to the other. And so, but Texas high school football, man, there's nothing like it.
Number one in the country.
The competition, the fans, the bands, the environment, the camaraderie. I'll tell you what, those fight songs that they do at the end of the games, how much the students are into it, the fans, the student section.
Now that ball will roll out of bounds. And McAllen will get good field position.
And look to see some seniors, maybe some players who have been working hard all year for the McAllen Bulldogs get some time. Nice shot there. Our cameraman Noah, the flag on the sideline.
I tell you what was weird about living in Ohio, covering high school hockey. That was a little bit different. Never been around that before.
Yeah, and I did a story this year at the Hilliard Center for the Ice Rays, and I asked them a little bit about what it's like playing ice hockey in South Texas. It's not exactly a big, hockey environment, and a lot of them hail from, Canada or up north, and they said it's definitely different, but we want to bring more fans out. So, of course, this winter, if you're ever interested in something like that, and nice completed pass there. Some defenders closing in on Woltoff, but he was able to get it. It's number 8.
Well, Flynn Henderson came up with the catch. Now, Flynn is also a senior. He's playing his last game. He had 14 touchdowns coming into this game, leading their team, and the Hornets have done a great job of shutting him down tonight.
Absolutely. It's been all 11 guys swarming to the football. You don't just want anyone to play as an individual. You want that to be a unit of buzzing bees, and they have been. I mean, McAllen has a lot of weapons.
Woltoff, as you saw as you were talking there, I picked up the first down for McAllen. So looking ahead, I think this Flower Bluff football team is built to go deep in the playoffs just by seeing what they've been able to do tonight.
Absolutely, Alan. And obviously matchups are all dependent. But here are really the positives that can transfer no matter what your matchup is. Your line is playing as a cohesive unit. They're playing physical. Your defense is swarming to the football. They're buying in. You're recovering.
Oh, wide open. And that's Flynn Henderson. We just talked about how they were shutting him down and wide open down there. Let's take another look at it. Flynn's got to try to get that 15th touchdown of the year.
And check this out on the Miracle Method replay, Alan. If Woltoff has more time, or if he's able to step into this throw, this is a touchdown. But because the D-line of Flower Bluff swarms, he has to underthrow it, and that leads to Henderson having to stop and catch that ball. So what would have been a touchdown prevented by that rush from the Hornets.
Back to the ground game. It's Morley, and Morley trying to prevent a shutout by that Flower Bluff defense.
And this isn't the first time we've seen McAllen inside of the 10, but they have 0 points on the board, right, Alan? So nothing is off the table.
It led to that long touchdown interception by Stray. Second down and 7. They can get to the 3-yard line and still get a first down without scoring. And this will be Morley. Morley is going to find the end zone. The shutout is over. And the McAllen Bulldogs finally score with 9 minutes and 11 seconds left in this football game.
And the result is obviously determined up to this point, but feels good to get that score on the board, right? I mean, we've seen Hunter Morley, run and fight every snap. He's a senior tonight. He wants to close out his high school football career with, a score, with some plays, with a little pride. And they do that right there with a touchdown for McAllen.
They do have a lot of seniors in this starting lineup. Kick is up, and it's good. So with 9:11 to play here in the ball game, it's now Flower Bluff 45 and McAllen 7. Game night South Texas right here on Chris 6 rolls on after this quick timeout. Well, welcome back. Game night South Texas live from Flower Bluff High School, Hornet Stadium, and it's all Flower Bluff 45-7. McAllen did score now for the first time tonight, so they've got the goose egg off the scoreboard, and let's see if they try the ball falls off the tee. Sure, they'll try the onside kick here. What do you think?
Well, it's at that point in the game, right? But 38-point deficit. Maybe you just kick it off. You try to give your defense a chance to.
Well, you got Watson down there. You got some of the good hands folks down there on that front line for Flower Bluff. And you're right, he does kick it off deep. One of his best kicks of the night into the end zone. All right, let's head down to the field. We got Chimba Brazil with us. What you got?
Hey guys, I don't know if you saw it during that last defensive series. Senior middle linebacker Tristan Wilson took himself out of the game onto the sideline. His right ring finger was pointing in a different direction. The good news is it wasn't broken, it's just dislocated. Trainer popped it back in. He sprinted to try and get on the field before they scored that touchdown. Wasn't able to, but he'll come back in this game, guys.
Wow, that's good stuff, Jim Bob. That's a little. I don't know. I don't know if I want to watch that, putting it back in place. You being a former wide receiver, I bet you had a few finger injuries.
Absolutely. I mean, if you're just a kid playing outside, playing with sports, you get those jam fingers, basketball, football, whatever have you. But you kind of just gotta get over it, right? And that's what Jim Bob is telling us. He just jammed it right back into place. So, you'd rather tell your coach, "Hey, I'm good," than say, "Oh, my finger's jammed. I don't know."
Kind of hide your hand from the coach as you're walking off the field, and you go over there and do it on your own, right?
Right, and that's just an athlete's mentality. Of course, safety is always the #1 priority, but when you're a gamer, when you're a baller, a competitor, you just want to be out there. It doesn't matter. Like, I'll feel the pain tonight or tomorrow. I'll get over it. I'll ice it up, right?
Lucian Cruz still in at quarterback. 2nd down and 7. Good protection, rolling right. And he'll throw it and out of bounds. It looked like it was intended for number 14. And as I go to page 5 here, it's Colton Johnson. So it'll now be 3rd down and 7. That'll stop the clock with 8:13 to play. So this is the opening week of the playoffs. There is a possibility. We don't know yet. We won't know till early next week. We may have another game on Game Night South Texas next week. It just kind of depends on who wins and where the game will be played, right?
Absolutely, and we've had good support. The viewers out there, thank you. Everyone that's tuned in and watched and supported, of course. And
Cruz across the middle. That is Watson, I believe. Yes, Watson down to the 48-yard line. That's a big pickup. That's another 1st down. Ransom Watson. You don't see too many tight ends lead a team in receptions.
He's got a little of that Travis Kelce in him, right? He's more, or Kyle Pitts coming out of Florida was kind of billed as that guy, right? He's a tight end. He's a receiver. Tight ends are a lot of times they're blocking, they're doing dirty work, and then they're slipping out in the flat or getting a quick hot route. But that's a big wide receiver. That's a big-bodied wide receiver. He's been playing slot most of the night. And only a tight end in formality sense.
Lucian Cruz carrying it. Did have a new running back in the backfield that time for the Hornets. Well, that was Sasky that time. He was in the backfield when they snapped the ball.
And it looks like Lucian Cruz is subbing out of the game.
All right.
Cruz's night is done.
He'll end it on a nice little run there, and that'll bring in number 2 for Flower Bluff.
Isaiah Villarreal.
Isaiah Villarreal, okay.
Let's see what the junior can do.
No, he's got to be excited to be in there. He'll throw it out. Quick catch. And gain of maybe about 3 or 4. And the receiver was?
That's number 14, Colton Johnson.
Okay, seeing some new guys in there now. See one of the linemen coming off the field. That's number 68.
Yep, so all the, you see your head coach kind of sends out that message. Hey, let's get our guys out and position coaches one by one, start to sub out their guys, get some fresh legs, give some scout team players a chance to show what they can do.
3rd down and 7 now. 6:29 to play. And we got a flag. Well, they brought in Villarreal, and they're still throwing the football.
That false start, you see what happens when you start subbing in new guys, some miscommunications, some players taking the field for the first time, excited to prove what they can do, but at the same time, maybe a little too excited, getting that head start off the ball. And that's another point of emphasis, right? When you get done with game week and you review film, you review game film, you review all of it. It's not just when the game was close or when the starters were in. This film here gets reviewed by the coaches as well and all gets put into context of how you see the depth chart.
And Villarreal will get sacked in the backfield. It was 3rd and 12. It'll be 4th and long. They'll punt. Well, we need to let the guys down to the truck know that we're getting close to naming the defense, the big hit of the game. So we need to get ready for that. And you and I are very unanimous on that decision on the winner, correct?
Yes, sir. I think it was in the second quarter. About 8 minutes, 8:30 to go. We saw Anthony Mims with a big sack. I mean,
I think it's maybe one of the biggest hits that we've had this year on Game Night South Texas.
Alan, there are hits and there are tackles, and there's a guy just picking up another body and throwing him to the ground.
Slamming it down with like a rag doll, right?
Absolutely. Again, like I said in the moment, it's kind of like a wrestling moment. And it looks like some extracurriculars. You see the reaction on the sideline from Flower Bluff, some extracurriculars at midfield. And some more yellow laundry is going to be thrown out there. So I think it's going to be another set of offsetting.
I imagine it will be. 5:18 to play in the game. Game night, or the big night, the big hit. It is a big night, but a big hit of the game, of course, is sponsored by your King Ranch Ag and Turf. And let's do it, Drew. Go ahead and tell us.
Absolutely. So like you said, Alan, King Ranch AG and Turf, sponsor for our big hit of the game. And we talked about it a little bit. Check this out. Number 33 in the middle of the line. He's going to dip through. Look at him getting grabbed, but he still comes through, and he slams the quarterback to the ground.
Oh, my God.
Anthony Mims. Let's check it out one more time. The dip. He's getting held a little bit there. It does not matter. Mims angry. He rushes angry, Alan. He's not rushing to just get the quarterback. He's rushing to get his.
I could watch that all night. That's a training tape for how to do the job correctly.
And you mentioned it earlier, kind of in jest, but you know the Cowboys on Monday night, they could use a guy like that.
Put the star on that man. Let's get him on an airplane right after the ball game.
Reminds you of
we're getting back in time for class. Although it is a Monday night game, so he'll have to miss one day.
It reminds you of a former Flame in Dallas, Micah Parsons.
Yes, Flynn Henderson on a great catch. That was an absolute gorgeous catch. It was in and out of the hands. He's able to re-grab the ball, and we got a flag on the play. It's over there on about the 35-yard line. And let's see what this – I'd like to look at that again. I want to show you how great of a catch that was by Flynn Henderson of McAllen. So if we could go miracle method, we'll show it to you. It's going to. The play's not going to count. It's against McAllen, but it's still worth another look, I think.
I agree.
If we have it. The guys in the truck are playing games with me here.
It's going to. Play's going to come back, but absolutely, that's a highlight-worthy play.
It was.
I mean, Alan, we saw Henderson. It tipped up. It looked like it was close to being intercepted because the ball was kind of in limbo, but Henderson was able to pull it in. Again, we talk about seniors. Finn Henderson, another one. There's a little bit. Ball almost came out of Woltoff's hands. So
was that number 3? I think that was that Tristan Wilson with a big hit there for Flower Bluff. All right, we're going to have the replay after all. They were just messing with me here on a Friday night in Flower Bluff. Flynn Henderson, 14 touchdowns this year. Has not gotten one tonight. Oh, that's still not the play. That's the last play. These guys are playing with me down there in the truck.
You can't have everything you want, Al. You can't have your cake and eat it too. Still a nice replay. Woltoff fumbling around with that ball, was able to bring it back in. He's given his all tonight, but it has not been enough for McAllen.
Going deep, got his man. That's Flynn. Oh, that would have been a touchdown, but he just barely overthrew him. All right, I'm told now they're going to go to the pass play. This was 3 plays ago, everybody. And you see Woltoff drops back, and you see Henderson bobbles, has 2 guys on him, still able to come up with a loose pigskin.
Miracle Method sponsoring that replay. That was a miracle catch, Alan.
It really was. That'll stop the clock. 4:11 left here.
Nice shot there of Coach Elwood, barking out orders. I mean, Nick Saban is retired. A nice play there. That's number 99, Garrett O'Brien, the senior.
And we had a flag thrown about 40 yards away from that tackle, by the way. Way over here on the other side of the field.
But going back to that shot of head coach Elwood on the sideline barking out orders, you know, Nick Saban is retired from his coaching days at Alabama.
For now.
But But it would be a kind of a joke because Alabama would have so many blowouts. They'd be up 63-7 on a Saturday afternoon, and the cameras would go to Saban on the sideline, and he's having a heart attack over a play. And you're like, why are you so stressed out? Why are you so strung out? Because that's what it takes to be great. That's really what it takes to be great. It's not just about, oh, well, the game is competitive, so I care. No, it's I care from the opening kick to the final whistle because we are going to be great. We're not just going to be good in the moments we need to be good. We're going to be great in the entire game, in every facet.
I totally agree, and that's what Flower Bluff has been emphasizing all night. 3 minutes, 34 seconds. Got any close to any finals tonight? Just curious.
So my Dave Campbell's app is not giving me very many results tonight. I've got an error message right now, but what I can tell you is as of the third quarter, with a minute to go in the third, Victoria West leading Miller 47-10.
Wow, I'm a little surprised by that.
And Miller, we know this, a high-powered offense, but 37 points in a quarter, I think that's a tall task for Justin Evans and that group over there. A young group, the Miller Buccaneers, a tough non-district schedule. But
yeah, they got out. You're right.
They really recovered in that district schedule, so they'll look to regroup and kind of
0-5, right? And they only had 86 points in the first 5 games. So but they have come on strong. I believe that freshman quarterback, right?
Yes, David Smith, and they've managed to in district actually have a big game against GP Gregory Portland. That was up in the air. The district was up in the air. They had a chance, but they fell. And again, that's a very young group. They have a lot of work to do, but this is a learning year, a developmental year. I think Miller's going to come back stronger next season.
All right, there's our player of the game, Mr. Mims. Tell us about him.
Well, Alan, Mims has a few sacks on the night. He's got a blocked punt. It's brought to you by Lamar Plumbing, our player of the game. But it's really his attitude and his energy, and you see it there in that shot from the sideline. Look at him having fun, staying loose, getting along with his teammates. And that energy really was what stood out to me because we see big plays every week here on Game Night South Texas.
And players feed off that type of energy, right? His teammates take that in and say, if he can be that way, I can be that way also.
And look at him. He's trying to win the rock, paper, scissors game, too. They're winning the game on the field, but his competitive drive doesn't stop. He wants to win even in that little game of rock, paper, scissors. So credit to Anthony Mims, and we'll be hearing from him once the final whistle sounds here. And
I just hope he doesn't sack JB down there on the sidelines. He may still want to play some more.
He's just seeing red and just goes for whoever is in front of him. So hopefully that's not the birthday surprise that Jim Bob is looking for today.
Dominic Craig has carried the ball the last couple of plays there for the Hornets.
And of course,
we're coming up to the 2-minute timeout.
And of course, keep an eye on our social media. As always, we always post our player of the game on Facebook and Instagram. Larissa Liska will have that for you, so Anthony Mims will be the next one up.
All right, we're going to take a quick timeout. It's 45-7, all Flower Bluff. Game Night South Texas brought to you by Thomas J. Henry. We'll continue right after this. Welcome back. Game Night South Texas, all Flower Bluff in this one. There's your score, 45-7. 2 minutes left to play, and they're just going to run clock here, as that's number 34, Edric Najo. He's a junior.
Those gaps continuing to open up, even with mostly backups on the offensive line. They still are widening those gaps, creating holes in the defensive line. That's really the bread and butter for Flower Bluff. They have a great quarterback in Lucian Cruz, and he's made some really nice throws, but it's been that running game that has really stood out and been the reason why Flower Bluff has been able to move the ball.
Well, I got to tell you, I don't want to be the team that has to play them next week, that's for sure. And Villarreal will hand it off, and about a 3-yard gain here, down to a minute 16 left. They got time to run maybe 2 more plays. Yeah, whoever gets Flower Bluff next week is going to have to really key on a lot of different players on this Flower Bluff team because they got a lot of standout talent.
When they trade the film and the opposing coaches see this, they're going to say, hey, who do we focus on? Do we focus on the elite passing game on Lucian Cruz and the way he's able to extend plays and scramble and then find an open receiver? Do we focus on Sam Smith and that big, beefy offensive line and the holes they're able to open? I mean, how much do you dedicate to stacking the box, and how many guys in the secondary you're going to drop? That's really going to be the chess match as Flower Bluff moves forward in the UIL state playoffs. Well, that's going to be the final play of the game, everybody. Flower Bluff is going to come out with a 45-7 win here over the McAllen Bulldogs. The Hornets are going to move on to the second round of the playoffs, and they're going to improve now to 10-1 overall. So congratulations to the Hornets tonight. Boy, complete total domination tonight on offense, defense, special teams. They played really, really well. I know Drew's got to run down to the sidelines, so Drew, thank you for your help tonight. In case you missed some of the highlights tonight, you'll be able to, earlier highlights, you'll be able to catch them on the Friday Night Fever coming up with Larissa Liska, and that'll be coming up in less than an hour. Let's check out your second half highlights here. Remember, we had us a 24-0 lead at halftime. It was all Flower Bluff, and they kept it up. This was like the third play of the second half, and Cruz to Kane to make it 31-0. And that was just the beginning, again, just an onslaught here by the Flower Bluff Hornets. They get the ball back again, and then this time, Cruz drops back, rolls right, waits for Watson to get open. There he is, gets 1 and 2 feet inbounds. And that made it 38-0. And then this game would then go final at 45-7. But got another highlight here. This is how the Hornets wrapped up their scoring. And Cruz throws it across the middle, and once again it's Kane who will take it in the distance for the touchdown. He scored 2 touchdowns tonight. He had a great game himself. And congratulations to everybody there on that Flower Bluff side. Now, McAllen did avoid the shutout late in the ball game, as you see the touchdown run right there, and that made it 45-7. So they avoid the shutout with the late score. But it was all Hornets tonight. Boy, what a great game they played, and they have had a great year. Remember, they came in 9-1. They only had that one loss, but they've won big here to improve now to 10-1. We'll know later tonight who they will play and where. And all right, let's head down to Jim Bob, who's got our player of the game. And boy, what a game he had. Take it away.
Hey guys, I'm down here with senior defensive lineman Anthony Mims. Big win for you guys. Defense set the tone early. You had a couple of big plays, a sack, block punt. Talk about your defense.
Well, yeah, I just got to give respect to my boy Colton, my boy, the whole D-line, and just the whole defense, bro. Our communication is just like...
Big plays by seniors tonight. You, Colton with that interception return. Talk about senior leadership and what it means to this team.
Yeah, we just make sure everybody's in line. Keep focused the whole week. We watch film all week. All that, man.
All right, on to round 2 for you guys. Good luck.
Thank you, sir.
Guys, back to you.
All right, boy, he's an excited player right there. I see they got the by-district trophy down there on the sideline, so that's nice. That'll go into their trophy case. And again, Anthony Mims, our Lamar Plumbing player of the game. Looks like a nice kid, but boy, he can get mean on the football field, right? Look, he did it all. He blocks a punt here, and that would set up a Brooklyn Garcia field goal, which would make it 24-0 heading into halftime. And then this was the big play that everybody's talking about. The big hit slams the quarterback down to the turf, and the quarterback did live to play some more. And here he is again on a big, he'll finish things off right here. And again, Anthony Mims, number 33 defensive lineman, your player of the game for player of the game. And when you're a player of the game, a playoff game, that really means a whole lot. Well, you see Coach down on the sidelines giving his team a quick pep talk. He's got the trophy in his left hand. And again, thank you so much for watching Game Night South Texas Playoff Edition. Congratulations to those guys down there and to Coach Elwood and company. Thanks again to to Drew Bishop. Great job in the booth tonight. Jim Bob Brazil down on the sideline. Great job with the interviews and all the insight there. And great job for everybody in the truck. Be sure and stay tuned for Chris Nick's News coming up at 10 o'clock. Larissa Liskell will have your Friday Night Fever highlights and scores of all the playoff games. Thank you so much for tuning in. Good night, everybody.
Thomas J. Henry's Game Night South Texas is a presentation of Chris 6 News, presented by Thomas J. Henry.